Welcome to the Vertical Stream. Welcome to the Waking Dream. Welcome to the best damn Umineko no Nako Koro ni Let's Read stream you'll ever find. Will find. What's up, guys? Oh, and full disclosure, I usually don't stream on Friday nights. I figured I'd do it today. Hey, how y'all doing? I was supposed to go out tonight. You may or may not be able to tell from my voice. A little congested today. I can't lay the Mac down, I should say, with I'm like, sneezing, sniffing, coughing all over girls and stuff, so it wasn't gonna happen tonight. So my loss is your game, guys. If you're stuck at home on a Friday night like me, come on in, welcome on in. We're gonna be hopefully finishing episode 3 finally. It's been about 2 weeks since I last streamed this, so it's about damn time, guys, right? What you say? Go with that volume. It's about damn time I can write this one off the books here. We're pretty close to the end of episode 3. Most of the people who will die have died, so not too many more to go. I'm gonna go ahead and continue the Umineko project version. But for those who don't know, I do have the Steam version, so it's all good. It's all legal. This is my backup, my legal backup. So don't report me. I'll fuck you up if you report me. And I'll still be okay because I legally own this thing. So report me if you want to. I'll still fuck you up. Alright. Let's go though. Let's get right into it. Go ahead and turn back the volume and shit. Max, and you don't have to reload, it looks like. Yeah, let me reload this shit. Boom. Props to Smash Brothers Ultimate for bringing Yoko Shimomura of Kingdom Hearts fame to do the soundtrack for that game. She put up the Tekken soundtracks for that game, for the new Kazuya DLC. So, go check that shit out if you guys haven't checked it out. Good shit. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that music now. Check it out. So we're back with Ushiramiya Eva. She's doing a double indemnity thing. She's committing murders with her magical self, but in her quote-unquote real self, IRL self, pretending that she doesn't know anything about it, pretending that she's sick. Not unlike me, she's congested, I'm congested, hey. We both have a little alibi going on. But she's pretending that she's in this room, coughing up a storm while the shit's going down, and people are getting killed. When honestly, I doubt she's in this room right now. She's out there killing people, basically. Wherever you see the witch Eva, that's where Eva really is. She's gonna be wherever the killings are happening. But we'll see what she has to say here. She's over here coughing up a storm. I don't know why I'm going surprise face all the time. Surprise! So I can't do it on command. I do it when I don't want to, right? That's great. Damn, you. Get some cough drops, girl. That's what I got. It seemed that half asleep, she had gotten some saliva caught in her windpipe just as she was dozing off. Ava started coughing. Just what I don't want to do out on a night out on Friday. I mean, there's a lot of people who are still kind of COVID adverse, right? You start coughing up a storm, and I will be coughing tonight. Just talking, man, you'll probably hear me cough a couple times here and there. I'll try to mute myself. But doing that out in public, and she looks, like, oh, does this guy have COVID? No, he's not wearing a mask. He's coughing all over everybody. Like, that's not what I want to do on a Friday night, right? I just got over a cold yesterday. Felt good enough to go into work, but I'm not trying to wear a mask out and knack to some girls, so that's not going to work tonight. That's a bad first impression, first of all. Second of all, again, you're going to get the COVID stares. But this guy doesn't he doesn't have the fucking vaccine. I do have the vaccine. You still transmit COVID, we have the vaccine, so I'm not going to be out and about coughing on people, sneezing on them, shit, on servers and shit like that too. That'll be the last thing last food service I'll ever get. Over there coughing on the servers once you bring me some food or something. they're gonna piss on my food tonight if I try to go out. Yeah, I'm gonna skip tonight. One Friday night out, I can skip. We'll have fun with this read along though, guys.
Natsuki, mizu o tanomu.
Yeah, let's just go some water.
Hi.
Now alert, Eva. Let's pay attention. Eva is with Natsuki and Kraus right now in the scene. Let's keep that in mind, guys. We're saying that Eva's with him. You know? She's pretending to choke and shit.
ってくるわ。ごめんなさいね。戻ってきたらまたコーヒーを入れるわね。
Now, this is another important line. Eva's making liquid refreshments for these people. She's making coffee, and Kraus and Natsuki already said they'll take some. So let's keep that in mind. Eva's in charge of the drinks here. So let's keep that in mind. Keep that on your hat, guys.
特に濃い。明日の朝まで眠
She
気が来
specifically
なくな
says,
るよ
oh,
う
we
な
won't
や
get
つ。
drowsy until tomorrow morning. Smiling about it, right? Why would she be smiling? Her fucking husband's dead, right? She's over here smiling, really? Does that make sense to you guys?
ゴーダの入れるコーヒーよりお前が入れるコーヒーの方が私の好みに合うからな。
お世辞でも嬉しいわ。
I'm right there with you, Eva. I'm coughing too. Jesus Christ.
すぐ戻るわ。
Look at this. Bless me. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Can't be doing that out in public. Not these days. Eva exited the lobby, heading for the lavatory. Kraus and Natsuki watched over her frail back.
あなたもあれだけ犬猿の中だったエヴァさんに気を使うこともあるのですね。
Again, excuse me.
本来兄とはこういうものではないのか。
Wasn't joking.
ええ、それで正しいと思います。
エヴァに限らん。ルドルフにもローザにも、私がした兄らしいことといえば、それを王兵に語り、彼らをいじめただけだ。父のようになりたくて、私なりに必死だった。だが、いつもそれは及ばず、そのはけ口を彼らに向けてしまった。しかし、それは言い訳にならん。エヴァにも、まだ傷が癒えぬほどに、深い心の傷を負わせてしまっただろう。
No problems about it.
悔いているが、
You scarred her so
今
hard
更
she
そ
had
れ
an
を詫
imaginary
びたとこ
friend
ろで、
version of herself.
その傷が癒えるわけもない。
That's pretty damn scarred.
あなたがその気持ちを今だけでなく持ち続けることで、その気持ちはきっと
Turn it down just a little
他
bit
の
here.
兄弟たちにも伝わりますよ。
Just a tad here. It's a little loud. Let me go a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. No, if that's too low for you guys. And you're still hearing the fucking game, let me know.
今となっては他の兄弟もエヴァを残すのみだがね。
もしあなたとあなたのご兄弟が生まれた家がもっともっと普通な楽しい兄弟の関係であったでしょうに。
それを言ってはならん。エヴァは生涯私を憎み続けるだろう。そしてその資格がある。
Does it sound like something Kraus would be saying? I don't know.
私はそれを甘んじて受け止めるつもりだ。
Sounds like Eva's fantasy version of what Kraus would say, right?
あなた
A little bit.
エヴァ、すまん。もちろん許さなくていい。
もちろん許さないわ。何を今さら。悪いと思ったなら今すぐへそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
Okay. Okay.
やっちゃえ、シエスタ姉妹。
Not good for Kraus. Not good for Natsu.
45射撃とか治療
45.
射撃曲線再確認410データリンク410データ受領
10.
射撃
Very not good. Gathered the sisters released the ready magic bowstring. A beautiful tail trailed the golden arrow, and it drew a beautiful curve as it flew through the air like a greatest of ease. It's just like a golden snake. I'll show you a golden snake, baby. Oh, that's a bad thing to play. It skillfully avoided a grove of trees and flew towards the front door of the guest house. Okay. Remember, everybody's in the guest house right now. Nobody's in the main house. Nobody that's alive, at least. Then it flew into the keyhole of the door and snuck into the guest house without any problems at all. So again, we just saw Eva in the same room, remember, as Krause and Natsu. She excused herself to go to the bathroom. She said she's going to make some coffee for these fools. She may or may not have made the coffee already. They may or may not have drank the coffee. The coffee may or may not have been laced with some kind of fucking sleeping agent, some kind of poison. Remember, they have drugs. They have access to drugs. The shit that they give Maria to calm her down, right? They have sleeping fucking pills, basically. So I wouldn't put it past Eva to put sleeping pills in this coffee. Say, oh, this is gonna wake you up. It does the exact opposite. It's gonna make them go to sleep, make them easy killings, basically. So we can imagine Krause and Natsuhi drank this fucking coffee. Now they're fucking fast asleep. Eva came back from her, oh, I went to the bathroom trip. Come back down, fucking. Well, you'll see what happens to Natsuhi and Krause in a second. Right in front of it was the door to the lobby. It would only need to fly into that keyhole and Krause and Natsuhi would be right there. For an instant, Krause thought he saw the door's keyhole sparkle gold. However, at the same time, he strained his eyes to see what it was. That sparkle bent like a whip and attacked, wrapping itself around Krause's neck. He's getting his ass hung, dude. Oh shit. Just looking at the gold snake looked very supple. However, it was as though the wire had tightened around Krause's neck. And while that snake choked Krause, it extended even more and it also tightened around Natsuhi's neck. Why are they bleeding? I thought they were just getting choked. Oh, they fucking got their head squeezed off, I guess, right? Without even a chance to scream, their eyes bulged as they went into convulsions and then collapsed. That they squeezed their fucking heads like a grape. Holy shit.
45命中および死亡確認牽引曲線形成補正点修正410へデータリンク410データ受領死体牽引開始
Corpse toe.
2匹も釣れた2
Yeah. The gold snake began to drag Krause and Natsuhi's corpses back. It slipped through the door to the corridor, dragging the corpses, gradually increasing in speed. So how the fuck did this magical goddamn snake go through a goddamn keyhole and now it's taking these people out of the fucking door? Like, right? How is that possible? Is it opening the door while it takes them out too? Because the door was fucking closed. They went through the keyhole, right? The fuck? They didn't explain that very well. Is the door automatically unlocked now? I don't know. Apparently. And in the blink of an eye, it pulled them outside the guest house. Now this is the part where you can kind of like argue against the magical fucking details here, because this doesn't make any fucking sense. With or without magic, how the fuck does the door open if it's locked? And they're getting dragged out by this fucking magical snake when they went through the fucking keyhole, not through the fucking open door. The door was locked, right? All the doors were locked. But yet this fucking magical snake came through the fucking door no matter what, right? Doesn't make sense. There's no fucking hands to unlock the door. It's a snake. Snake doesn't have fucking hands, right? So how the fuck did they do that? It's bullshit. That's what happened. It's fucking bullshit, Battler. You gotta make note of this shit. So the lobby was still as though nothing had happened at all. Still, Krause and Natsu had never been there to begin with. Only the sound of the wind and the rain remained, as though feigning ignorance and pretending that they had been the only ones there. Good shit. Oh, look who appears! How convenient. She appears right at the scene of the crime, before and after the crime was committed. She's the only other person there. Like, I wonder why, right? So apparently she didn't make the coffee yet. And we can believe that she already made the coffee though, I think. I mean, it's, you can play around with that a little bit. Like, there's no other way she would have been able to overpower two distrustful siblings, right? Natsuki and Kraus, without them getting drugged and shit. So I'm pretty sure she already made the coffee. She drugged them, and that's how they died. I'm pretty sure. Like, that's already the means that they explained already. And no, there's no other way she can overpower these two. Right? I don't think. No one was in the lobby. Even though they had been on that sofa until the very moment she had choked and gone to the lavatory, they had now gone as if they had been an illusion from the beginning.
不用心ね。二人揃ってどこに行っちゃったの?
Like she was pretending to be in a detective novel, Ava put her hand on the sofa. Still warm. She felt the warmth, indicating that they had been sitting there until a short while ago. Maybe they had gone out to do the rounds or something. For the time being, Ava sat down and waited for their return. They ain't coming back. Beato and George can be seen in the parlor of the mansion. It's my George voice now, a little bit deeper. Before it was Ava, now it's George, her son. A little bit deeper. Still English accent though. George was kneeling near Shannon's body, as though praying. His face was sincerity itself, and there was even sweat on his forehead. Sweating fucking fool. You sweaty fool. Don't touch me with that sweaty hand, bitch. Bitch-ass George. However, Beato was the same. Now that she had handed her name over, most of her previous power had been lost. Of course, she still had more than enough power to be called a witch. But compared to the past, it was a very faint thing. Don't touch her with that sweaty-ass hand, George. Take that fucking hand out. Put some damn soap on it, soap and water, boy. Nasty-ass bitch. Fucking wash that hand too, boy. Wash it. Wash it! Over here breathing on her now. Come on, dude. Keep your hands, feet, breath belongs to yourself, bitch. George maintained a single-minded focus. That's the only thing he could think of. Because he only has one brain cell. He kept frantically yelling inside his heart, trying to call back the soul of the person he loved. Does he even have a soul? I don't know about that. This jury's still out on that one. He strongly envisioned his soul leaving his body and searching for her as she wandered through hell. I wonder who put her in hell, right? Was it George? Fucking led her to her death? Probably. Beato turned that strong force into magical power, supplementing her own magic. It was magic that, in the past, she could have performed easily without anyone's help. But now, she didn't rely on someone's help. She wouldn't be able to finish the chant, much less succeed. An even more strained expression than George's had risen to Beato's face. I like how they keep calling her Beato. She's not Beatrice anymore, she's Beato. She was still forgetting this, but the magic to revive a life is fundamentally the ultimate hidden art. It was her previous magical power giving her the ability to use that magic over and over with a snap of her fingers that was abnormal. And therefore the heavy burden to her body and mind was, by rights, absolutely to be expected. So she keeps going back and forth, either praising Kinzo or saying he has no magical power whatsoever. At first, oh, he has no magical power whatsoever, that's why he can never see her, Beato. And now, oh, apparently Kinzo has so much magical power that George even being tangentially related to him makes sense that George has power, right? Like, what the fuck? Which one is it? Going back and forth with this shit. It's probably a translation issue. Like, he probably... I think... This is the way I think about it here. Kinzo and Battler have anti-magic. Like, if you ever watched Black Clover, they're kind of like Asta. They have a lot of anti-magic, which is still magic at the root, basically. But, I mean, you can't perform magical spells and shit. But you have a lot of magical power to avoid like you have magical resistance basically. And if you tap into that magical resistance power, then you pretty much, the absolute power of that is magic. So that's what I think she's trying to say. Of course, I have to read between the lines to think that, because again, she says she has two things out of the sides of her mouth. Either Kenzo is a fool, can't even understand magic, or he's like the most magical dude in the fucking game. Which one is it? Strong magical power pouring from George was even large enough to pass as magical power. Oh, okay, the strong power, okay. So now he's a mage, right? At first, Beato thought it was due to the blood of the mage, Kinzo. He's a mage now? Oh, he's a summoner, not a mage. Alright. Oh, that was probably wrong. She had a feeling that Battler had taught her that. George's power to feel sorrow for the death of his loved one. He rose from the way he had tried his hardest throughout his life, from the warm time spent together with Shannon, from the sides of their shared dream, promising each other their futures. Do humans really live this seriously during their one single life? Of course they do. To her, a life didn't mean anything more than a difference between the top and the bottom, that's what she said, of an Othello piece. If the black represented death, then she thought all you had to do was flip it over again and make it white. However, it was just like that broken face. Vase. I guess that's how they pronounce it in England. Vase. To humans, in a world without magic, where they can never return it to its original form, it is very, very natural for them to bet all their body and soul on that single life. Now the witch acknowledged it. Acknowledge me! He was able to hold a magical power that could not reside in witches who didn't understand the value of a life. What is this thing called the English magic for again? Even though I call myself... Oh, this is Beato talking now. Even though I call myself the Endless Witch, have I been forgetting what the endless magic means for a whole 1,000 years? She looked at George's expression again. His surging earnestness was like a lightning bolt. Right now, even if George's body is burned or smashed by a waterfall, he would probably continue to pray for his beloved without minding it, without noticing it. For the first time, she showed respect for that power. So in that instant, all magical resistance was lost, and the enormous power of George's feelings turned into magical power in its perfect form. There we go, George. Being useful for once, right? The vase was very, very beautiful, rich in its history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed this video. Okay, is this George now? I keep switching back and forth here. I think it's George now. But that just made me want to touch it. I think that's George talking. Who the fuck knows? But the vase easily fell and smashed into smithereens, like a popped bubble. Felt to say the time when it had possessed the form is just an illusion. It was that fragile, that easily lost, that life. I realized that because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. I'm not too sure who's talking actually here. We're gonna keep with George. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, and the broken vase would not return to its original form. Oh, this is Beato. This is definitely Beato. A lost life would not return to normal no matter what happens. Sorry guys, I'm not too sure who's talking here. They don't really tell you. I was frightened by the fact that my own frivolous action, even though it had been frivolous, had stolen a life that could never be revived again. And out of pity for the lost life, I cried. Out of fear for myself, of myself, who had made it become lost, I cried even more. Beato's crying? Really? See it when I believe it. Or believe it when I see it. Oh, okay, she's talking about when she was a kid again. I was sure that grandfather would also cry at the loss of his precious vase. Vase. I was sure that all the people who had thought fondly of grandfather would cry too, when they saw him like that. By just the loss of a single life, the whole world would be filled with so much sadness. I cried even more at how terrible that would be. Beato's over here crying about her memories and shit. She's in a memory zone right now. Apparently this was back when her grandfather died. when she was a proto, Beato as a kid, and she's crying over the death of her grandfather, and likening it to when she broke his vase as a kid. I guess. I mean, I'm not exactly 100% sure what the hell this is talking about here. We know this is Beatrice Proto and Virgilia Beatrice back in the fucking day. The hundreds of years ago that Beato always talks about. I lived for hundreds of years, blah blah blah. Well, this is when she was fucking still a kid. Still a human. Beatrice appeared and spoke.
ならばお嬢様、この壺を魔法で蘇らせましょう。それで皆が幸せになれるなら、壺も魔法も精霊たちも喜んでそのために力を貸し、
元の姿を取り戻すでしょう。Endless magic. When Virgilia pretty much first taught her how to resurrect the vase when it broke. So now she's going to use this again on Shannon, probably. That's my guess.
さあさあ、お嬢様、目を閉じて、私と一緒にお歌を歌いましょう。さあさあ、目を閉じてごらんなさい。そして思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか、それはきっと。Oh,
let's make a quick point here. Remember that the vase wasn't totally fixed. Remember, it repaired itself for a good 1 minute before a cat came and broke the vase again. So without true endless magic, right, it's only going to be a temporary fix. Just remember that, guys.
どうか私にあの姿をもう一度見せておくれ。
Those words of power powerfully knocked on the door to Hades. Her previous magic powerfully knocked on the door to Hades in the same way. However, back then it was horribly violent and earned the displeasure of the peacefully sleeping dead. However, this time was different. It was very powerful, but it was very kind and loving. Was it? The dead near the door opened their eyes and called out to the other dead that there was a voice calling for someone to call back. Okay. The sadness of that voice calling from the outside touched the hearts of the dead. This is like Persephone over here, right? Remember that Greek story? Persephone getting called back to from hell, telling her not to look back before she gets sent back to hell and shit. She accidentally looks back or something like that. She gets sent back to hell. Trying to respond as quickly as possible, they search for Shannon's lost soul. And then they found it. They found the casket in which Shannon was peacefully sleeping. It was truly Shannon's soul, sleeping in the land of the dead. Hopefully you guys aren't buying any of this bullshit, right? This is not really happening. They're not really in Hades. George and fucking Beatrice is not teaming up to try to resurrect fucking Shannon's doom soul and shit. This is not really happening. I mean, unless you believe in magic, right? If you buy magic, sure this is happening, sure, right? If you buy reality, this is not, no way in hell this is happening. Literally, no way in hell. But we'll keep reading. Inside a casket that was covered in rose petals frozen with frost, she was sleeping in peace. Was she? Or was she pretending to be dead the whole time, and now, oh, she suddenly pops back up, pretends to be resurrected? I think that's much more likely, right? That she's never dead in the first place. And George is too stupid to realize that. He buys his entire fucking facade. Oh, she's fucking getting resurrected. No, she's not. She was always alive, dipshit. The dead silently lifted that casket up. While it looked like a funeral barge at a glance, it had the complete opposite meaning. It was solemn but filled with joy. It reminded the long-forgotten dead that they continued to be loved even after their deaths, and gave them all a warm sense of peace. And then, as though guided by a warm light from the heavens, Shannon's body floated up out of the casket. Levitating bodies here, guys. That's really happening, right? The dead watched her go. They squinted at that warm light, giving their respect to this unknown member of the living who had continued to hold on to his love for a person even after her death. Yay. Shannon's body was sucked into the light of the heavens and began to disappear. In the jet black darkness of the land of the dead, the faint flickering of gold butterflies could be seen. It reminded them of the gentle stars in the night sky, which they had long forgotten. George remembered being told that he must not say anything, and he hurriedly covered his mouth. It's like Persephone, right? Don't look back, don't say anything. However, it felt like his heart was trying to jump out of his throat, because he had seen Shannon's eyelids shake slightly. She's pretending to be dead, dipshit. She's never dead. And then those eyelids slowly opened. She was never dead. Shannon's eyes were there, but they were still covered in the frost of the land of the dead. However, the warmth of the human world, no, the warmth of a loved one who had called her soul back, slowly dissolved her frost, and her eyes gradually regained their sparkle. Then her eyes moved and recognized George for the simp that he is. Simp, son? As her lips shook weakly, Shannon definitely said that. So, like I said, I think this is actually happening. She's pretending to not be dead now, but she was never dead in the first place. But I do believe that this scene is actually happening, that George is being fooled by Shannon here, who's kind of in cahoots with Beato. Of course, they have to be in cahoots. Beato's resurrecting, quote unquote, Shannon, and now she's pretending not to ever have been killed, just to fool George for a second. So yeah, that's probably happening, I think. We'll watch how this fucking plays out there. The words were very faint, so much so that they normally wouldn't have reached his ears. However, George clearly heard them. He heard his loved one, his fiancée, the one he loved most, who should have been dead. He doesn't care about his fucking dead father, he just wants his chick magnet, right? His little chickadee. Call his name once again. This girl that he started dating a year ago. It's like, fuck my dad. It's all about Shannon now. It's all about that Putang Pie, right? Good man. Fuck the family. He wasn't supposed to talk. Shut the fuck up, George. Shut your fucking mouth. As George said that, he softly pinched Shannon's cheek. It was how George had always responded in the past, when Shannon had been surprised by something and had asked if she was dreaming. When Shannon felt the warm touch of George's finger on her cheek, and when George realized that the warmth of the living person had already returned to the cheek of his beloved, because he was never dead, they both cried. With words, should a pair of lovers separated by death celebrate their reunion? But the words of the human world are not enough to celebrate that. In short, they had no need of the words of this world. I'm so shocked. Look at my face. I'm so shocked. Ah! Shannon sat up, and the two of them simply wordlessly hugged each other. Shannon still didn't have much strength in her, and putting her arms around George's back took all she had, his fat ass back. So George hugged her tightly to make up for that. I'm so surprised here. To stop her from ever again going to a place beyond his reach, he hugged her so tightly yet so gently. Shannon's fingers curled around George's back. Then on her ring finger indeed shone the engagement ring George had given her. That strong sparkle was absolutely not the sparkle of a diamond alone. There was, without doubt, a magical power that only the two lovers could possibly feel. It was because that strong light existed that they had been able to find her casket in the land of the dead. Oh, kind of convenient. Beato understood. That ring, no. The couple's feeling, and the form of that ring had created this miracle. In that moment, George had definitely used magic. Beato had done nothing more than help him along. That magic had a magical power that could only reside in those who knew the importance of life and trying their hardest. It was the power of a miracle that an endless wish could not know, that only the power of the finite could give rise to. By now, she had no choice but to accept it. She had to accept that true magical power existed in the place farthest away from she who called herself a great witch.
ベアトリーチェ様。
彼女が君を生き返らせてくれたんだ。ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。
Get on your knees and thank me, boy. Give me some money.
わらわは何もできない。
Resurrections are $1,000 each, at least.
シャノンを蘇らせたのはそなたの魔法。
Don't tell this boy lies, girl.
奇跡を成し遂げる後
She
ろ
was
の
already alive.
ジョージさんが私を
Yeah, we got Shannon acting for the camera here.
わらわの足元にも及ばない。わらわならまだまだ見習いの域を出るか。今こそ身の程を知ろうぞ。
Beato staggered backwards. Her physical strength was clearly exhausted. She had humbly said that George's power alone had revived Shannon, but Beato had used all of her magical and physical strength. And she reflected upon how difficult it was to revive a single one of these lives, which she had toyed with however she wanted to in the past. The couple kept each other in a tight embrace and showed no signs of letting go. Feelings that couldn't be communicated with a billion words were just communicated between them.
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。
On your knees, yeah, boy.
僕たちの
Kneel
恩
down
人だ。
before me. And you thank Beato. Your last
あ
breath,
りがと
boy.
うございます、ベアトリーチェ様。
Nice,
再び
Shannon.
ジョージ様に会わせてくださ
Yeah,
った
keep pretending you
こ
were
の
dead.
ご恩を
Keep pretending. We believe you.
決して忘れません。
We all believe you, Shannon.
よせよせ。愛し合う二人に感謝されては下道の極みと恐れられたわらわに
So savage.
わらわのことは気にする存分に。再会を
Well,
祝
that's
い
a death flag right there. Take all the time you want. Big death flag. Beato, he was still leaning her back against the wall, slid down the wall and sat. How many centuries had it been since she had last grown this tired from using magic? Probably not since the time I first succeeded in magic. Didn't Master praise me for that back then? Oh, but I myself killed that Master who praises me, didn't I? Sure did. Don't be naive, Beatrice. In the end, that's what it means to kill something, right?
ようや
Hey, she's still alive.
く魔法の使い方を思い出したようです。
頭ん中酸欠でカラッカラでナスの手つまんねえぞ。それよりあんた
That's what I've been saying. How is she still alive?
笑
Right?
われるんじゃね
Where the fuck is she coming from?
あなたが未だに私を生かしていますよ
Well, she kind of did resurrect her right after she killed her. To keep toying with her dead body. And it was like, oh, I killed you like 5 minutes ago. I was just fucking toying with your dead body.
だからこうして現れられます。もっともあなたの頭を撫でに来たわけでもありませんが。
え。無様なわらわをわざわざ嘲笑いに来たかよ。それに
Yep.
隠居までした魔女が今さら頭なんか撫でられちゃ他の魔女の笑い物だぜ。
そうですね。一人前どころか現役を退いたと豪語するあなたなのに、今頃になって魔法の使い方を覚えたなど恥ずかしくて誰にも言えませんね。
So the story we're telling about Beatrice now is she was always so powerful. She didn't really need to use real magic. And now she's given all her powers to Eva Beatrice. Now she's kind of relearned how to use actual magic now. So the magic she's been using for the first 3 episodes so far was all just fake magic because he was so damn powerful. So does that make sense to you guys? That's a nice way to explain around some of the fucking magical inconsistencies in this goddamn storyline. I mean, it's all bullshit. Bullshit. So, just keep that in mind.
内緒にしてくれよ。
And it's also a way to kind of get Battler to kind of like empathize with her a little bit more. Now, oh, now she's lost her fucking power. She's not evil anymore, right? She has to use love, use the fucking humans' infections to use her magic now. So Battler's gonna like that a lot more than her using fucking, you know, overpowered magic just to fucking brutalize his family members. So, of course, this is all designed to fucking lure Battler in. Of course. The sense of pleasant despondency. Beato gazed at the couple hugging each other. Over here creeping on these guys. Madison would love that.
45データ治療
Uh-oh. They're doing a lot of work tonight, aren't they? 45 and
準備完
410.
了弾種選定装填
Booted firing guidance system. Initiating
410
firing
射撃
guidance system. Whatever.
2
They got no chill. Well, they had a good, 30 seconds together? After Shannon, quote-unquote, resurrected? Had a good 30 seconds. Oops, I missed the line here. Oops. The golden serpentine arrow fired by the Chesters weaves its way through the bushes in the rose garden. Hit George's stupid ass in the fucking face. Okay, already did that. And climbed the stone steps toward the mansion's entrance. Aiming for the keyhole. Get in the keyhole. These doors are all locked, basically. Lead through the corridors. Go into the keyhole to the door of the parlor. So that door is locked too. It happened in an instant. It would have been difficult for Beato, who was completely worn out, to have noticed it beforehand. Oops. Right before Beato's eyes, the goat snake that flew in through the keyhole spun in circles around the two lovers and pierced through their two hearts in the blink of an eye, impaled them both. And with meticulous precision, that goat snake ran through that hole in Shannon's chest once more. So it impaled her twice. Impaled them both twice, maybe. The two that had been pierced through the hearts by the goat snake, no, by the gold sewing thread used by the new brutal witch's furniture. And it had only taken an instant, so unfitting for the amount of effort it had taken to revive Salmon. It's okay. Looks like George is dead. Looks like Shannon's already been dead. Or still, maybe she's still pretending to be dead, I'm not sure. In front of Beato's shocked eyes, the two collapsed into the floor, so nobody really is seeing her death of George at this point. And George is already dead, so he doesn't really count, right? So you can still say Shannon's still alive at this point. If you believe that she pretended to be dead before. It would make sense, and that would be the person, I think, who kills George this time. Shannon, who pretended to be dead, pretends to resurrect herself, and when George comes to call him, Shannon kills her. And now we only have, Beato's word to go on it that Shannon's also dead now. I mean, you can play around with this part of the story, but my hypothesis is Shannon's the one who's killing George here at this point. She pretended to be dead to get away from George. George tried to, resurrect her. And when she pretends to be resurrected, she kills him for good. Man, you're fucking so annoying. I'm trying to fake my death to get away from you. Now I gotta actually kick your ass. Kill you. To get away from you for good. So I think that's what's happening here. Shannon's killing George. So, again, we're not sure if Shannon's dead here. But we are sure that George is dead now. Apparently.
George.
Oh, his asshole says thank you for getting killed. Just like George would do. Thank you. Thank you for the death. George spent his last breath taking Beato and died side by side with the one he loved. It's the last thing he wanted, right? That's all he ever wanted. So I guess I can't talk for George anymore. This is Beato again. The goat snake, which still sewed the two in place, spun like a large cyclone, revolving around the inside of the parlor. It was still searching for further kills in that room. Uh-oh. Beato's not safe. Uh-oh. And the tip of the snake met Beato's gaze. In that instant, Beato prepared herself for death. Instead, Virgilia stood in front of her, the fingers of both her hands drawing a mark. So now we have confirmation Virgilia is not dead. Even though she was killed already, right? Apparently the endless magic lets her stay alive after she dies. It looks like she sacrifices herself for Beato. And that instant gold-colored gold leaf, sorry. Buried. Why is it gold-colored gold leaf? It's already gold, right? You don't need gold-colored gold leaf. Will be done. Buried the inside of the parlor. Like a blizzard of gold. Yeah, we haven't seen anybody fucking escape that bull yet, right? It's a sure kill.
410標的疾患200魔法機回し
Magical chafe.
45了解。索敵変更対人画像追尾方式。標的再補足。410データリンク。410データ受領。すっとろいに仙台様。来た来た来た。着弾。
Run, run, or you'll be well done, Beato. The chest assistant's golden bow would not let his kill escape. Would not let him block it. No magical barrier could even dream of blocking it without being multi-layered. The weak point during the instant of confusion caused by Vigilia's deception magic was Beato's only chance to escape, and the only opportunity to make the sisters confuse Vigilia from Beato. As Vigilia spread her arms wide, blocking the way of a beloved disciple, the gold snake pierced straight through the location of half. It's the second time she's done, right? The snake, which is snuck in through the keyhole, shot through George and Shannon, then shot through Vigilia in an instant. They used George and Shannon's body to kind of like shoot through, and then kind of impaled Vigilia as well. Completely failed to notice as Beato escaped. Over here running away, Beato. Wow. How the mighty have fallen. As soon as Vigilia saw that Beato had gotten away, she expired. R.I.P. Vigilia. R.I.P. Again, right? The second time you died here. Spring left the body, and then like the gold dust drifting in the wind, her form was erased. I don't think we'll be seeing her again, right? Beato completely erased all traces of her magical power. Came gold butterflies and passed through the wall, escaping to the wind and the rain outside. Damn it! You fucking bitch! Beato felt sick at the bottom of her heart. Why? Because she had been attacked by the new witch? Probably not. Of course, she had also felt sick over the loss of her master. But even more than that, Beato was enraged at the barbarism which had flourished to storm the union between two of the reunited lovers. Beato had poured out almost all of the magical power to reunite them. The miracle had been achieved only as a result of all that, yet it had been taking such a short time to steal it all away. Beato trembled at the barbarous cruelty which had ended it so fast. And it was also the true form of the act she herself had committed up until that point. So just as strongly as Beato hated the new witch, she looked at her previous self with disgust. Very convenient lesson for Beato to learn here, when Battler is disgusted with her, right? But now she had to escape. If she was targeted next, she would probably lose her life. And it wouldn't be even funny if the chess player descended like a god, ended up being attacked and killed by the pieces. Yeah, it kinda sucks.
45着弾確認標的資産間違いなく仙台様を撃破しました。また私たちの撃墜気象が増えちまうにひ愛し合う二人なんだっけ引き裂いて一度合わせて二度もう一度引き裂いて三度楽しめるだっけ
Damn!
そのついでにあのクソうるさいババアまでさよならできて最高にご機嫌よ。
Oh, she shows her true colors finally. Didn't give a fuck about Beato anymore.
ラムウェイ文句ないわよね。
ございません、ベアトリッチェ様。
Yeah, one of his goes were his parents, but he didn't give a fuck about Beato either. He was always antagonistic with her, but whoever has the power is the one that's controlling the demon, so he's gotta go with her.
あいつは魔女の自分の儀式を妨害したの。第一のバンド生贄を勝手に蘇らせて
Little technicality, but
私
still.
の儀式を妨害したの。文句言われる筋合いなんかなんにもないわよ。
Even Beatrice just lawyered Beato, right? Just lawyered her.
しかしずるいな。あいつは死体を残さないのね。あのババア。
No, they can't tell that it was Virgilia because Virgilia evaporated into dust and shit. It's like, okay. This little uncouth. I ain't gonna say shit about it though. Whatever, he's a cool motherfucker. He's a cold fucking man. He's a cold man. Got a little Bud Light with lime tonight. Helps out my sinuses. Oh, she's gonna freak out. So, little important tip, and then we'll just take a quick break. We'll take a quick break after this point. So Eva is not the one who's killed George, obviously, right? Eva didn't kill Hideyoshi either. Remember my theory on how Hideyoshi died? Hideyoshi and Eva were running and gunning, trying to kill Kyrie and Rudolph, and somewhere or another, Eva shot Kyrie in the back, probably. So Rudolph saw that, and he shot Hideyoshi, not Eva. So Eva had nothing to do with Hideyoshi's death, other than, you know, triggering the fucking scenario where he died. Tried to kill her siblings, basically. So, because of that, because of her greed about the gold, Hideyoshi died. And then I think Eva kills Rudolph after that. So she's in charge of killing Kyrie and Rudolph, not Hideyoshi. You know, 6 that died before those 3 died. I'm pretty sure it was Beatrice. Whoever was dressed up as Beatrice. And after those 6 died, that's when Eva found the fucking gold. And then Eva and Rosa tried to make a deal, but Rosa got a little greedy too. She wanted her money now. Eva pushed her. Rosa slipped. Fucking impaled herself, spine first, on the guardrail. And you know, Maria was right there watching the whole thing, so you know, she has to die now, right? So Eva has to throttle fucking Maria. That's the only person in this game, entire game, episode 3, Maria's death. It's the only person in the game to have a fucking choking death. When you see the handprints on her neck, so it's definitely somebody choking her. There's no magic involved in that shit. No magic involved in Rosa's death either. They can't even hide that shit with magic. That's definitely Eva killing those 2. So Eva's in charge of the 4 deaths there. Maria, Rosa, Kyrie, and Rudolph. So she's killed those 4. Beatrice has killed the 6 on the first Twilight. And Rudolph's killed fucking Hideyoshi. So now we get to the next deaths here. That would be Kraus and Natsuki. Again, I surmise that Eva finished her coffee. It doesn't say that in the storyline, in the narration, but it was put out there that she was making coffee for everybody to kind of quote-unquote wake them up. So I think she drugged the coffee. Natsuki and Kraus were fast asleep. Eva comes up behind him, fucking hangs them basically, or just, you know, does another choking death basically. She ties a noose around their necks to where they can't breathe while they're sleeping. They can't struggle because they're asleep, so they just fucking suffocate to death. That's pretty much their cause of death. Let's actually go to the character screens here and see their actual cause of death here. So they will tell us exactly what happened here. So let's go back to Kraus. So we're not sure exactly how he died here. Oh, they're still saying he's alive. Okay, so it didn't actually update his death, but he's dead, right? We know he's dead. We know she's dead. They say in the storyline that they got choked out, basically. They got a noose tied around their necks. And they got choked out. And then George got impaled, we can say. And Shannon's already dead, apparently. This is still one of the 6 that are allegedly dead. So again, the 6 people that died at first, they're all allegedly dead. You only have Nanjo's confirmation about them dying, so you don't know for sure if they're dead or not. This is just Nanjo's telling us that they're dead. If Nanjo's an accomplice, these 6 people are all alive. Or maybe not Kinzo, but all these 5 servants are all alive, probably. And he's just pretending that they're dead. If he's in on it, basically. So that brings us to the latest death here, George. Again, I don't think Eva had anything to do with it. Eva was too busy killing, you know, her brother and her sister-in-law. So Eva's killing these 2 people. Meanwhile, we'll say Beatrice, the person dressed up as Beatrice, was over there doing her magical kill of George and maybe or maybe not Shannon. So Shannon, who may have already been alive from that first kill, was with George. And we'll see his body, where Shannon's body was left, quote unquote her body. So we'll see that in the next scene, but apparently he was impaled through the heart. And we also say that Virgilia died in the same scene. But again, she already died. She died before the fucking first Twilight happened, so was she already dead, or is this magic shit that nobody can fucking count on, right? We don't really know. So anything that's magical though, Virgilia's death, You really can't count on that. She might pop up again, basically. Because who the fuck knows the magical deaths they actually take. You don't know. They're all trying to kill Beatrice now, though. So, even Beatrice is trying to kill. Let's go to the witch side here. Even Beatrice here is trying to kill her predecessor. And she's already killed the predecessor's predecessor, right? Because these two women, the Chesters, are like unstoppable beasts. Always sure shot kills. So that's where we are right now. We can say that Eva's about 4 kills deep right now. That's all we can say for sure. As far as George goes, or I'm sorry, she's 6 kills deep. We're going to add these two. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, Rosa, Maria. So 6 kills deep. Beatrice, if you believe they're all dead, is 6 kills deep as well. Maybe 7 with George, possibly. And then Rudolph only has the one. Rudolph killed Hideyoshi. So that's where we are right now. 7 for Beatrice, 6 for Eva, 1 for Rudolph. With that, guys, we'll be right back. Whoa! Let me see if this works real quick. I'm not sure if it does. I don't see anything happening here.
You're a coward! That's right. I'm a coward.
I'm a coward. A coward. Some bad lip sync. It does work. All right. Be right back. Yes, that's right. I'm a coward too. They're both cowards. And they're both interesting people. Remember that. Remember I said that. Oh, we got a fucking dino. We got a gal and a dino right here. My favorite anime of the season, by the way. Watch Gal and Dino. Good shit. Ah, my brain still hurts. Ah. Ellie? Oh no! Let's go save the girl. Kuri! Ah, what a foul Cupid you would make! You gutter slunt! Ah, Valkyrie, it's been ages. But was your armor light blue then? Or was it black? I don't believe it was pale blue. She's over here talking about Valkyrie's sister. That's Lenneth Valkyrie. She's talking about Silmeria Valkyrie. So she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Step it up, bitch. That's right. Nice legs, though. She's like 5 feet taller than fucking Valkyrie. Look at that shit. Look at that tail. She's an Amazon, baby. She's an Amazon. Well, it's really all the same anyway. Look how tall she is, man. What the fuck, dude? She's like head and shoulders over everybody else. That's enough talk from you, bitch. The undead should ever remain silent. I'm gonna slice your fucking throat, like this girl said. I have too much fun disability with these voices. Fighting alongside you once again? I'm not sure an ordinary human would be much use in battle against demons, but more help is appreciated. Welcome aboard! He's much nicer than he is in the first game. They're one of the church's people. Sorry, Yangetsu, but there's no way I can trust someone from the church. He's actually the smartest person in the room. If you play the Ritual of the Night, you'll know why you can't trust the church members. So, you know, little mini spoiler there. Don't trust Dominique. But I mean, still, she's my favorite character. Either way. You don't touch Dominique, boy! Put your gun down, boy! Robert. Don't misunderstand. I don't know what grudge you bear, but she is needed in this battle. I'll trust her judgment, but I'll leave my bullet in the chamber. Should she raise my suspicion at all, it'll find its way into her back. Well, we know that doesn't happen, right? Because she's still alive in Ritual of the Night, so you know something does not go down. AKA a bullet does not go down. With your fucking hand in your pocket like a douchebag you are. What an ultimate douche. Look at this fucking guy. Look at his fucking shirt, man. First of all. He's got a fucking He's got a long sleeve shirt, then he puts a fucking t-shirt on over that. Who the fuck does that shit? Only douchebags do that shit. Come on, guys. Come on. I got the t-shirt underneath my shirt. That's the way you're supposed to wear this shit, guys. You don't do the fucking opposite just to be a fucking high order of douche. Just like he is. And then you got the fucking... Oh, they put one hand in my pocket like a prissy fucking candy ass. Like he is. Come on, sir. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I hate this guy. And once you play this game through a couple times and you find the true route, you realize why he's kind of a douchebag. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil shit, but I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Thank you for that raid, Miss Flintlock. So if you guys haven't followed her, I'm gonna go ahead and try to shout her out here. She's been doing a Higurashi playthrough. Let me see if I can shout her out real quick. Should pull a clip from her to show. We'll see. Hey, look at that. There's a lot of VR tubing. I don't know if you can actually hear that.
It sounds like a mini archway, actually.
Wait, Max.
Don't. Okay.
Looks like it. A ton of fun in the virtual realms. Thank you for the raid.
Right. If the women ones are.
Awesome. Oh, we are back. Get back into a little Umineko here. Flint, I don't know if you were sticking around, or you'd have to raid and dip, but I am knee deep in episode 3, so you can see all these people that are in the red. They're already dead, so I don't know if you want to get spoiled or if you're planning on playing this later on. But just caution, because there will be spoilers aplenty if you have never seen any of this before. Let's give you a quick warning before I go ahead and continue on this playthrough. This is a read along here. Anybody else that's coming from Flintlock's raid. This is Umineko. This is the second half of Higurashi. I mean, it's not really a continuation of that game, but it is When They Cry 3. Higurashi is When They Cry 1 and 2. This is the third and fourth When They Cry. The fifth one is Seikonia When They Cry. And that's the fifth one that's out right now on Steam. Check them all out, guys. But this would be the third in the series, after Higurashi being 1 and 2. It was sort of a continuation. There's a lot of overlap. A lot of things that you learned in Higurashi kind of carry over in Umineko. Not too much. Really, you don't have to play Higurashi to understand anything in Umineko. Kind of self-contained stories, but a lot of stuff links back to Higurashi. And if you're watching the Higurashi anime, if you saw Go last season, Higurashi Go, and now you're watching Higurashi Satsu this season, a lot of the stuff that's going on in that anime directly references Umineko. It's kind of a bridge, I would say. That anime that's airing right now, it's a bridge between the two series. Yeah, that makes sense because this is When They Cry 3, Higurashi, the answer arc at least, is When They Cry 2. So, it does make sense. Anyway, hope you all took the warning to heart because we're going to continue on with the storyline. So, what happened just now, 2 more people died basically. George-san died and Shannon-chan died. We don't think Shannon's really dead though. Like we're still kind of guessing that she's alive, but we don't know yet. This is George's mother. She's freaking the fuck out. When somebody doesn't show back up after like 30 minutes, they're usually dead. Without fail, they've always died. So she's kind of suspicious now.
確か4時か5時くらいだったかな。最低でも1時間以上は前だよ。
Oh, it's over an hour ago. Okay.
俺たち眠くなってその後は多分居眠りしてたし。
So this is another clue, guys. Why would they get sleepy and doze off randomly at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Could it be that Eva poisoned, or at least slipped some sleeping pills in the coffee, meant to keep everybody up. And then these kids all got sleepy, as well as Krauts and Nazi, who just died, right? It's a little bit more ammunition for the Eva killed these people in their sleep theory. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with that theory, because now the kids are saying that they fell asleep randomly, right? Backs up my theory that Eva's poisoning these fools and killing them in their sleep.
でも多分ジェシカの言う通りだと思うぜ。1時間か2時間くらい前だった。
Yeah, they don't even remember how long ago it was, because they fucking fell asleep. So they have no sense of time at this point. George has been gone since they woke up, basically. Whenever the fuck that was. This guy is the most untrustworthy of the bunch. You can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. He's fucking talking so. So, okay, let me just go back here. He definitely says that he got coffee. So let me go ahead and... Okay, he remembers it being around that time because I asked whether I wanted more coffee. I was asked whether I wanted more coffee. So this is confirmation here, guys. Everybody drank coffee. And the coffee was made by Eva, remember? So it'll be easy for her to sip some fucking sleeping pills in that coffee. So again, you gotta read between the lines in this game. They tell you everything that's supposed to happen that makes the most sense without magic. But they won't tell you verbatim, you know, oh, this is Eva's over here poisoning these fools and killing them in their sleep. But this is obvious if you examine the lines. It's obvious what's happening here. Apparently, when Auntie Eva had left for a second to visit the laboratory, Uncle Krause and all Nazi had disappeared. They don't even know this because they were asleep. This is what they've been told by Eva after the fact. There's no way they went hiding somewhere. Of course, the doors and windows had all been rigorously checked, and all were locked from the inside. Not one of them was broken. And that wasn't just the first floor, the second floor was the same. Also, all the doors and windows were designed in such a way that they couldn't be locked from the outside. So they're going to try to set this kill up to be, you know, impossible without magic. Again, when you add the element of, oh, sleeping pills have been hidden into the coffee, it's easy to explain how these people died now. They can do whatever they want to a sleeping body, right? I would say Eva just dragged these two fools outside the guest house to wherever the fuck she wanted to put their bodies, and then killed them in that room. And now she can like set up the room to be a locked room basically. And then you have Beatrice saying, "Oh, this is a fucking magical kill," but it's not really. They got drugged, and they got drug out to set up another location where the kill happened. Basically, I mean that's an easy answer. Of course, dumb old Battler's not going to realize this. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, it's magical, I don't know, I resigned, She's probably going to say that, I bet you. In other words, there was no way that Uncle Krause and Aunt Nazi had gone outside. They didn't go outside, they got drugged outside. And yet they couldn't be found. Furthermore, they weren't the only ones who had disappeared. Astonishingly, George Aniki had too. George Aniki had left saying that he was going to get some more coffee. So they all drank coffee. It was unfortunate that George drank coffee because Eva didn't want him to die. But whoever's dressed up as Beatrice, kind of, oh, there's 2 for 1. While Eva's over there killing Krause and Nazi, I guess I'll go ahead and kill George because he's fucking asleep too, right? And I bet Beatrice knew that Eva was going to kill George herself, so she had to take it upon herself to kill George. So whoever saw Beatrice, maybe Shannon, I don't know. Because again, Shannon had the opportunity, right? If Shannon was pretending to be dead, George definitely went to see her. Try to see her resurrect. So if she wasn't really dead, I would bet dollars to donuts that she's the one that killed George. So she might be the Beatrice in this story. Was she the Beatrice in episode 1 and 2? I don't know. It might be different for every episode, who knows. But that's a good estimation though, right? George Aniki had left saying that he was going to get more coffee and got downstairs more than an hour earlier. So everybody's drinking coffee. The laced coffee right here. I'd been under the impression that he was having a good conversation with Auntie Ava and the rest. But Auntie Ava, who had been in the lobby the whole time, said that no one had come down. Since all the doors and windows were locked from the inside, it's hard to imagine that they went outside. So I would believe what Eva's saying about George. About nobody else, though. I wouldn't believe that shit. But she's trying to find out where George is too, so it's not like she would kill George, so you kind of have to believe what she says about George being gone for like over an hour. He's the only one that didn't drink the coffee. She's the only one that hasn't been to sleep. So she knows that George has been gone for an hour. Again, she's not the one that killed George. It would have to be Beatrice, not Eva. So she's kind of frantic right here. Nevertheless, 3 humans had evaporated from this barricaded guest house, which had become a perfect locked room. Hard to imagine any reason why they'd hide themselves away for a surprise prank in a situation like this. It's probably appropriate to think that they've become caught up in this crime. But naughty Eva learned that her only son was missing. She went half insane, running from room to room and yelling his name loudly. So if she is in cahoots with the Beatrice, she probably has an idea what's happened. She knows that Beatrice went into business for herself, and now she's gonna fucking have that rude awakening. Oh, this is where my fucking son's body is. And Jessica, who had suddenly lost both of her parents, followed suit. Cries of George, and Mom, Dad are even now continuing to echo through the guest house. That's horrible, right? I think George says something about wanting to see Shannon's face. It would be reasonable to imagine that he snuck out of the guest house and gone to the mansion. Like a dumbass. However, I don't know about Uncle Krause and Aunt Natsuki. Maybe they guessed that that's what happened and went to the mansion to search for him. Why would they do that by themselves? Are they stupid? Without telling Auntie Eva? Yeah. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before we start talking about leaving the guest house to search for them. Yeah. So these people are all making stupid decisions here. Again, you can't really blame them for drinking the coffee, but I certainly wouldn't be drinking anybody's coffee if I suspect that some of my siblings are killers. I'd be making my own coffee, you know, I'd be making my own water, using my own glasses that I wash myself, right? These idiots are fucking drinking shit and trusting these fools not to be poisoned. Like, that's how Krause died. That's how Natsuki died. Drinking some fucking poisoned goddamn coffee. That's what happens, guys. And then, George is over here trying to search the mansion, knowing that there's a killer out there. He's gonna want to go see Shannon's body. And he knows it's fucking a stupid idea. And that's why he's dead. These people are all stupid. Like, in this fucking scenario, you stay the fuck put, you don't do anything stupid, you don't drink any fucking liquids that you don't know where it came from, you don't fucking make any risky moves, you stay put, you fucking barricade the goddamn door, right? I wouldn't even be in the room with anybody else. I'd be in the room by myself. Make sure there's no fucking windows, no doors that are unlocked, that can be accessed easily outside. Fuck these other fools, because that's the only way you can stay safe. But no. These people just want to fucking group up, drink fucking coffee, like go to sleep all leisurely and shit. Like they don't have a fucking care in the world. They want to go ahead and search the goddamn mansion without any other persons nearby, right? What the fuck? So now you deserve to die at this point, George. Especially George. Alright, at this point, I'd be in favor of that. So now Balor's making stupid decisions. He wants to go search the goddamn mansion when it's safe in the guest house. They're not dead in the guest house, they're dead in the mansion, guys. So if you stay in the guest house, you're gonna be safe, obviously. But no, he wants to go outside the guest house. Go to the fucking death mansion, right? He wants to go to the death fucking castle. Smart. We said that shutting ourselves up inside the guest house would be safe. And shut ourselves in this morning as a big happy family of 12 people, and yet now there are only 4 people here, because they keep fucking leaving the guest house. Duh. In other words, being here does not imply safety. If you stay inside there, sure does. Nobody's dead inside the guest house. Nobody's dead. They're fucking dead in the fucking mansion, guys. That's what happens when you leave the fucking guest house. However, there's something even more important that you mustn't forget. It's the fact that all the doors and windows were locked from the inside. This is a locked room. How did they vanish from this place? Easy. Somebody dragged their bodies outside. Whoever dragged their bodies outside is now in the guest house with you, idiots. So the killer is among you. Ava! Ava! And she locked the doors behind her when she came back inside. Locked room explained. That's just that simple. Balor's not gonna get that though. Balor's gonna be stupid ass. Doesn't understand fucking basic logic here. We searched around thoroughly. However, we were unable to find any signs of anyone hiding. The 3 of them had almost certainly been taken outside the guest house. No shit. So Nanjo's there. It's gotta be 4 people alive, right? It's gotta be Eva, Battler, Jessica, and Nanjo who are left alive. But I don't think they have updated the fucking character portraits yet. Let me see. Check the end. Nope. They don't update that until somebody finds the body. And Nanjo proclaims, quote-unquote, that they're dead. You can't really trust Nanjo's forensic hypnotist explanation and stuff, because he's corrupt. I'll say it right now. He's corrupt. Every time you see him, every time you hear him talk, he's talking out of his ass. Most of the time. Now, I wouldn't say every time, but most of the time. He did say that he drank coffee, and that's probably true. Now he's starting to try to like muddy the waters, right? Oh, there's a hidden door. You know exactly how it happened. Fucking poison got him coffee. This idiot was asleep the whole time that somebody dragged their fucking bodies outside. That's what happened, dude. No hidden doors. He's just saying that to like throw Badler off the scent.
釣り糸の類を使ってもこの構造では無理でしょうな。となれば扉や窓以外から出たと考えるのが妥当でしょう。
A lot of this shit is noise. A lot of the dialogue and people, a lot of the hypothesis that they put forward, it's just noise meant to like obfuscate what's actually happening here. Like a lot of the shit Nanjo says, you need to just like totally ignore, because he'll put forward some hypotheses that sound plausible, but it's totally a red herring, like this is.
確かにそういう論法にもなるだろうな。
See now Balor's over here thinking about this shit. He's gonna be stuck on this fishing line idea. It's fucking totally false.
隠し扉が存在しないなんて断言は誰にもできない。しかしそういう発想に飛躍する前に。
Okay. What is it?
と申しますと
Okay. Sometime Battler had been opening windows, opening the shutters, and checking outside, and repeating this for each window.
この窓は静かだな。なるほど。この窓は他と違って建物の構造上、風が吹き込まないわけか。
そのようですな。こんなに外は風雨なのに雨も風も入ってこないとは不思議な。
We got windproof shutters over here.
南條先生、今窓を開けた時音を感じたかい？
いえ、気にはなりませんでした。
Again, we've already established that these people were asleep for the last hour and a half at least, so they wouldn't have heard the sound anyway, even if it did make sense to these windows not having any sound to it. He was asleep. Nanjo was asleep. The kids were asleep. They've already said it. Kraus and Nazi were dead, or dying in the process of dying either way. So if somebody snuck their bodies out through the window, there's no way they can do it. Especially if it's oil.
つまり誰も見ていない廊下の窓からひょろっと抜け出すことは可能なわけ
Very
だ。
possible.
しかもこの窓なら風も吹き込まないから風圧でカーテンや扉が音を立てることもない静かなもんさ。
You would still have to lock it behind you though, even if you dump their bodies outside, right? And then you had to go outside and fucking fetch their bodies from the outside and then drag them to wherever the fuck you want to drag them. So I mean, it's not 100% fucking perfect fucking plan here. It's definitely better than a fishing line, right? And a hidden door. That's just not gonna fly. He had to lean down and looked out at the ground below. He was searching for some sign that George had jumped down, but at a glance he didn't see any mark like that in the grass in the middle of pouring rain. Apparently, from what we saw last time, George and Beatrice flew out the window, so no, they wouldn't make any mark on the ground. That's if you believe in magic, though. So apparently George and Beatrice flew out the window. That's how they escaped the guest house, because they knew that somebody outside would be seeing them out in the hallway and shit. So they had to sneak out the window and fly away. But obviously that didn't happen, right? Obviously something else had happened to where George got a chance to sneak out without anybody seeing. We're just not sure what it was. Again, I put forward the fact that since Eva poisoned everybody, she was busy killing Kraus and Nazi. Everybody else was asleep, right? So nobody else could see George or what happened to George. So the actual killer, the actual Beatrice, ended up dragging George out to Shannon's room in the mansion while these all idiots were asleep drinking the poisoned coffee. And that's how he got out without anybody seeing him, because they were all asleep. So it fits everything, it explains everything. You don't even need to waste time on like how these people get outside without anybody hearing it, because they were all fucking asleep from the poisoned coffee. So that takes care of all the fucking scenarios that you need to explain. So basically they're talking nonsense right here, trying to explain some kind of like idea why nobody's been heard. And there's none needed, because the actual answer is they were all asleep and they would not have heard any sounds.
窓はすべて施錠されて鎧戸まで閉まっていましたぞ。
Of course they're all locked, because the killer locked it all back when they came back inside.
出ることは可能でも
Or the
閉める
killers.
ことは不可能だ。
閉められるぜ。こうやって。
Okay, there we go, there we go. So he's gonna say the obvious. Oh, they just came back inside and locked it after that.
まさか
最後に中の人間が鍵を閉めればこんな密室は朝飯前だ。
Okay. So at least he got that far, right? So he's definitely linking somebody in the actual guest house right now as the killer. It's gotta be one of the 4 people that are still there. Who did the killing? Because the only people that can lock the door is one of the 4 people in that building. So he's squarely putting the blame on somebody in that group. Najo? Could it be?
しかしそれではそれで
Oh,
は
he knows what that means. Nando turned pale and shook his head several times. I mean, you're gonna have to suspect somebody at this point, right? Everybody's dead but 4 people. If you don't think it's one of the 4 people left alive, then you're not paying attention here, guys. I mean, that's gotta be somebody, right, in that group. You better start suspecting somebody here, Nanjo. Come on, dude.
俺
No,
の
I
想
didn't read
像
that
し
at
た
all,
トリ
sorry.
ックならな。
Let me go ahead and read that. With Nanjo's voice. Nanjo turned pale and shook his head several times because the thing that Bachelor was saying was presenting a certain truth to him that was frightening even to imagine.
しかしこんなトリックを使えば怪しまれる人物は極めて
It'll be
限定さ
Battler,
れる。
Jessica, Ava, or Nanjo. Only 4 could be. He didn't want to say it in front of Nanjo, but after eliminating Jessica, who had been with him the whole time, only ones he could have been in are Nanjo and Ava.
私はそんなことをしませんぞ。
Don't trust him, sir.
誓ってもいい。
He's not trustworthy at all. How is Nanjo still alive, right? How else could he be alive? He's fucking accomplice, or he's the killer himself. That's what I think.
とな
One
る
of
と
those two.
エヴァおばさんと南條先生のアリバイ合戦ってことになる。
I mean, how is Battler innocent, right? You don't know that.
俺たちは2人とも怪しんでそれぞれを別々に監禁すればいいだけの話。逆に言えばこのトリックはもっと生存者が多ければ有効かもしれないが。
Oh, he's saying now that that's probably not what happened because it makes it so obvious that it's either Nanjo or Ava. So it's got to be a different fucking trick they used. I think that's what he's saying now.
これだけ人数が減った状況下では大して有
Don't
効
fucking
では
double
な
back
い
on
んだ。
yourself, man. You had the right idea. That's pretty much what happened. No, in fact, there's a chance they could dig their own grave with it. Should have been more expedient to make it look like the Cobra was outside. And to intentionally leave a door unlocked or break a window.
もしこの失踪劇が今日の昼
And
に
actually,
で
you
も
would
起これ
have.
ば
He's right about that. The killer was sloppy, basically.
俺は自信満々にこの説を発表しただろうよ。だがこの段階に至っては全然自信が持てないぜ。何なんだこいつは。
Zen Tamida.
一体何を意味してやがるんだこの密室はよ。
やはりその。
なんだい南條先生、思いつきでもいいから言ってくれ。
Because Dr. Nanjo looked like he was trying to swallow his words despite having thoughts of something, I urged him on. Bachelor urged him on. After I refused several times, saying that it was just a foolish idea, Bachelor finally said it out loud. Or, Nanjo finally said it out loud.
イエス様、やはりこれは本当に魔女の仕業ではない。
Oh, shit. This is where you definitely know Nanjo's in on it. He's gonna say, oh, well, it can't be me, it's gotta be a witch now, right? That's what somebody who's guilty says. He's a fucking guilty accomplice now. 100%.
魔女なんているわけがねえぜ。
100%, y'all. Sealed his own deal right there.
魔女は私たちに訴えたいのです。
Come on, Nanjo.
人間にはできないことを
Smoke
や
a
っ
little
て
too
の
much
け
weed,
るからこ
man.
そ
Smoke that weed, sir.
自分を魔女だと
Yo, you seeing ghosts and goblins and witches. My gold.
私はこのゲストハウス全体の密室からの失踪はそういう魔女からのメッセージだと感じています。
He's become the fucking witch's like he's definitely the accomplice, but the witch is fucking apologizer over here.
考えてはならないのです。意味なんてきっとないのです。私は
Wow. What a performance. As Dr. Nanjo shook with fear, it looked like he was trying to erase the fearsome thoughts that he kept imagining, one after the other. When he went downstairs, Ava and Jessica were enraged, and were each making a lot of noise about leaving this place and searching for their respective families. It was a desire that naturally hits those who can no longer see their family. Ava told Nanjo and Bachelor to stay here, but Bachelor shook his head and started walking.
もう引きこもりはたくさんだぜ。俺も外の空気を吸いたくなってきた。
It's fucking raining outside, dog. Ain't no fresh air out there.
行くならさっさと行こうぜ。
Yo, Jessica's fired up.
もうこんなところに閉じこもってるのは真っ平さ。
Jessica's hot.
早く父さんや母さんやジョージ兄さんを探しに行こう。
Don't get hot, girl. Don't get hot. The blood had all risen to Jessica's head. I hope it doesn't set her off for asthma. Probably will.
残りたい人は勝手に残ってればいいわ。
So if Eva's the killer, you don't want to listen to what she's saying. And apparently they're all going to listen to what Eva's saying. Because they're all smart. They're all brain trusts. If Eva's the culprit, don't follow her, right? And we've already established Eva and Nanjo are the two most, suspicious people in the fucking... the four of them. You don't really suspect Jessica now. You don't really suspect Battler. You suspect the two adults. So, let's not follow the person with the fucking shotgun in their hand. Or the fucking rifle, sorry. But that's what they're gonna do, looks like.
とにかく私たちは表を探してくるわ。
南條先生がどうする？
Yeah, let's leave Nanjo here by himself. That makes sense too, right?
一人で留守番してるかい？
Bless me.
私もご一緒させてください。
Okay, now you just brought the two sus people with you. There's no winning scenario here, guys. Let Eva go by herself, I would think. If the alternative was holding up alone in the guest house with security was by no means guaranteed, it would be better to be in the danger zone as a group of 4 people. Nah, I don't know about that. Now Eva was holding the gun. Moving separately from her was almost like asking to be made into the next victim. Alright, maybe. If she's the killer, then you just want to stick around her, miss. So she'd have to actually physically kill somebody in front of at least 3 of the people. At that point, you can kind of overpower her with the other 2. After one person goes down. It's a rifle, it's not a fucking, rapid fire gun. So she shoots one, she has to reload it. Or at least chamber the fucking next bullet. So you got a brief window of opportunity to overpower her then. You stay close to her, baby. Don't let her fucking get away from you. In this way, the 4 of us decided to leave the guest house. We barricaded ourselves in, saying we'd be safe if we did, and then lost 8 people. It was almost as though this had been nothing more than a holding cell from which the sacrifices could be killed one after another. The killer's just that damn good. We moved the chain, unlocked the front door, and opened it. It was already pitch black out. While there were some lights outside which dimly lit the pathway, they didn't have enough power to illuminate the darkness that some suspicious person was likely to be hiding in.
行くわよ。遅れても知らないんだからね。
Still holding a gun, Auntie Eva dashed out without an umbrella. It's gonna be hard to keep up with her. She's overcompensating about George being gone here. She wants to make sure that everybody knows that she's fucking very, very worried about him, right? Jessica followed after her. After looking at each other, Dr. Nanjo and I chased after them. Don't fall behind. Don't fall behind 10 feet. It'd be easy pickings for her to pick your ass off with that gun. What in the world is happening in this mansion, on this island? Since yesterday, I've been shut up in the cousin's room in the guest house with the rest of my cousins. So I don't know anything about what's been going on outside. And then I got drugged for the last 3 hours. Just what has been happening in those places I don't know about. Outside the room, in the mansion, and on this island. Everything is occurring, everything is proceeding. And everything is ending without my knowing it. This is kind of an important line here. So, Battler is the one that's playing against Beato in this chess game, right? Battler's piece is the battler in this game. So the guy that's talking right now, that's Battler's piece. Anything that the piece battler doesn't see, he can't 100% confirm as being true. So he needs the red truth from Beato to assume that any like opinions are actually fact, right? So when she says, "Oh, there's 18 people, and there's no less than 18 people on this island," or there's no whatever, she says there's no more than 18 people on this island. That's what he has to assume is true, but he didn't, actually observe that basically. So he doesn't know that's actually true until she tells him in red. So she's telling him the story. If it's not in red, the shit that he is being told may or may not be true. Most of the time, 90%, I think I've used this figure before, 90% of the shit that Beato's telling him, that he doesn't see himself with this peace battler on the chessboard, it's not true. So all the magical shit that happens, everything, even the non-magical shit that happens, the conversations that happen that Battler's not in the room for, all this shit that happened without, Battler seeing it firsthand, with him being locked in the guest room most of the time, with him being asleep the last 3 hours, none of that shit's probably true. Alright? I mean, he's being told a fucking story. Most of that story is fake. Alright? The only shit that's real is the shit that the witches told him in red. That's the only thing he can actually believe of what Beato's telling him. The rest of the story is being told by Beato, it's fucking mostly false. So, just keep that in mind again here. And Battler is pretty much just reaffirming that is what you should be thinking about when you're reading this episode, and the episodes before it too. Everything is occurring, everything is proceeding, and everything is ending without my knowing it. Everything is happening without knowing it, basically. And he's being told a story. That's probably not true. And that's pretty much what he's saying right now. It's 100% true. Somewhere in my heart, I've already begun to give up. Most likely, not one of us will see tomorrow morning. When the seagulls cry, none should be left alive. Umineko no nakokoro ni! They always say it at least once. They said it twice this playthrough. I'm pretty sure that. I know Kraus said it once earlier on. And now Battler's saying it here. So we're probably real close to the fucking end of this game here. This is push on through, guys. Jessica found the bodies. Where are they at? In the bodega? Uh-oh. Guess it's gonna go crazy here. Looks like. Jessica's woeful voice echoed throughout the rose garden. Crying like a banshee. Perhaps it was the intuition of a person who lived in this island. After Jessica had looked in the rose garden where Ante, Rosa, and Maria had fallen and seen nothing, she had gone to look in the arbor next. Oh, they were in the arbor, okay. Yeah, kind of like a gazebo, right? Normally, the arbor was probably a wonderful location to enjoy tea peacefully while appreciating the roses on a good, sunny day. Who knows, maybe even Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsuhi had their days where they relaxed and enjoyed tea together there. In that arbor lay the bodies of Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsuhi, Mommy and Daddy, for Jessica. At least they weren't drenched in the rain like Auntie Rosa and Maria had been. There was no way I could say it out loud to Jessica at the moment. Don't let fucking Nando examine the bodies, dude. It's not gonna tell you anything useful. Alright, so we had the confirmation that it is strangulation. I guess Nando could be believed here, I guess. Should be strangulation. Right. Yeah, so there's the noose markings on their necks. Alright. That checks out to what I was thinking, right? Somebody drugged them and then dragged their bodies out to this arbor. Put nooses around their neck, choked them out while they were sleeping. Bingo, bango. That's the magical kill, quote unquote. Right. Oh, he's looking at the stakes, probably. Yep, the two stake-like weapons decorated with an occult design that were laying on the ground. It's laying, not lying, guys. Lying is what you do if you're a person. Laying is an object. I mean, I guess they might be people, right? So you can kind of say the stakes are people, I guess. Not quite a typo, but it should be laying either way. I've been found driven into Uncle Kraus's thigh area. I'm an English major, guys. Sorry. English typos kind of hurt me a little bit, so gotta point those out. Need a revision here, guys. And near Aunt Natsui's calf. We had found these sticking out of my parents' forehead and chests. We had decided to leave them exactly as they were for the police and to preserve the crime scene, but Jessica no longer cared about such matters and immediately pulled the stakes out of her parents' forsaken bodies. That's smart. Well, they don't think the cops are coming at this point, probably. They're 4 people deep now. 4 people left alive in this game. Like, they're not fucking gonna survive, probably. They don't give a damn about the cops coming. Kso is shit in Japanese, guys. Korosi is killed in Japanese, guys. Uaa is uaa in Japanese. Look at how calm Eva is, right? Well, she actually killed these two, so she would be calm. Versus Jessica. They're both directly related to these people, right? But look how calm Eva is versus Jessica. Like, that's saying something right there. Who do you think is the fucking culprit between these two ladies, right? Adoi.
I
think that's what Jessica's thinking too. If I'm not mistaken. I think Jessica starts they're storming on the blame game here pretty soon.
魔女が蘇るってことは犯人が堂々と姿を現してくれるってことなんだろう。何が誰も生き残れないだ。私が殺してやる。父さんと母さんを殺した犯人をこの手で絶対に殺してやる。
Hanin is murderer in Japanese, guys. Jessica howled furiously. Her emotions laid bare. To avoid being crushed by her grief, she could do nothing but resist it with anger. Fuck Georgie. I like how she calls him Georgie too. It's not George, it's Georgie. He's such a fucking kid. Fucking dumbass. He can't think higher than a goddamn 5th grade level about shit. Thinks with his fucking dick, right? Oh, let me go see fucking Shannon's dead body. I can fucking practice some necrophilia or something, right? Probably. Oh, and that's how he got killed, because he's dumbass wants to go to the fucking mansion unprotected. Everybody else is fucking in the goddamn safe mansion, right? In the guest house. Oh, let me go to the fucking mansion by myself. I'm not gonna get killed, right? That's what Georgie thinks. Georgie boy. That's why Eva calls him Georgie. He's a little slow in the uptake. Just like the George from Mice and Men, right? Or was it? No, Lenny was the, yeah. Lenny was the fucking brains, and George was the fucking, the dipshit. So that makes a lot of sense. It makes perfect sense. And that's Georgie boy. That's not fucking split up, guys. Every time you split up, somebody dies. Without fucking fail. Look at her smiling, dude. You see that?
でもジョージはまだどこかで生きているかもしれない。ここで時間を潰してる暇はないのよ。
Yeah, fuck these bitches, they're dead. As Auntie Eva screamed this, Jessica peered at her. Uh oh. Yeah, Jessica's not liking this. Auntie Eva had no more time to bother about the dead. She was far more concerned for the safety of her only son, who was yet to be seen.
ジェシカちゃんはここでお父さんとお母さんのそばにいるといい。
Let's not trust her, right? I like Eva, but damn it, she's acting very sus now. Oh, you stay around here and let me like wander away with the gun, so I can just double back and kill you, right? Let's do that.
私はちょっと屋敷に行ってくるわ。
Don't do that.
バトラ君も南條先生もここにいてくれていい。
I mean, if they want them all to stay around here, give me the gun, right? If you give us the gun, we'll stay here. If you want to keep the gun with you, I'm going with you. That's the way it goes. You don't trust somebody to double back around you and fucking shoot you in the back. That's not what you're supposed to do. Just saying this and leaving no time for debate, Auntie Ava rushed out of the Ava. Uh-oh. She just dashed off. Okay. I called out for her to stop, but there was no way she could listen. However, by now, being alone in the situation meant nothing short of death. If we silently watched her leave, it would be the same as letting her die. As long as Auntie Eva was willing to stop, we would have no choice but to follow her. Yeah, you gotta follow her now, at this point. You gotta go where the gun's going. And while it might be cool to say so, Uncle Krause and Aunt Nancy were already dead. There's nothing more we can do for them. Yeah, fuck that. We stay around here with the dead body. It'll be like 3 more dead bodies if they stay around here, basically. In the end, we had no choice but to console Jessica and head for the mansion together. Fortunately, Jessica stood up. Perhaps she had been able to draw a line under her grief for the moment. But what had surfaced in this place was an expression like a demon.
私がこの手でぶっ殺して必ず敵を取ってやる。
Okay.
行こうぜバトラー。犯人を見つけたら邪魔をするなよ。
You got it, girl. You got it.
私が絶対に殺す。
俺も親父たちの仇があるんだ。悪いが早いもん勝ちだぜ。
First come, first serve.
ぶっ殺してやろうぜ。
Just leave me a piece. That's all she says. At my words, Jessica finally seemed to feel like someone had sympathized with her emotions. She still had that dark expression, but I felt Jessica regaining some of her sanity. Alright. We took off, chasing after Auntie Eva. Through the rose garden, up the stone steps, running at full speed towards the mansion whose large, intimidating shadow flashed in the lightning. Crack it through. With this, the epitaph murders have finished the 8th twilight. And now in the 9th twilight, the witch will revive, and none will be left alive. I will most likely lose my life. After you know, are going by the first 2 episodes, yeah, probably. But at the very least, I wanted to burn the truth into my eyes. That was the only thing motivating me to move at that moment. We were able to reunite with Auntie Eva, who was having trouble with the lock to the front door. It seemed that all the blood had risen to Auntie Eva's head. That was probably making her fingers clumsy. She couldn't even handle the simple task of inserting the key into the lock. It's hard to do that when you have a big-ass rifle in both hands, right? Put the rifle down. Then there was a faint sound. The sound of the door unlocking. Just as though it had waited for all the survivors to unite before opening. That's not good. Opened by itself? It seemed to me as though the malicious mansion was trying to swallow all the remaining humans at once. So did she unlock it, or did somebody else unlock it? It wasn't very clear. A stench that erupted outwards at the instant the door opened. Could it really be explained as just a smell? It wasn't just a charred smell from grandfather. I think it may also contain something like regrets, held by so many dead, including our parents and all the servants. What did it mean as it billowed out, overwhelming us? Was it the cry of the dead, telling us not to enter? However, Auntie Eva didn't even flinch at something like that. And we, who had to chase after her, were forced to step into the mansion, despite receiving that message.
Georgie?
Georgie!
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 聞こえたら返事をしなさい
Georgie's dead, baby.
Georgie!
Georgie! Eva shouted at the top of her lungs. Considering the situation, it's probably far too optimistic to imagine that he's alive. Yeah. And we also started following Auntie Eva's example and calling George Aniki's name in loud voices. Eva found something and stopped walking. His glasses. Okay, no. She was standing in front of the door to the parlor.
これは
Oh, this is the parlor that Shannon's body was in, right?
南條先生ちょっと来てもらえるかしら
I had heard from the adults about the creepy magic circles that had been drawn on doors such as the one to the parlor. Creepy was the only word to describe that thing. It had been scrawled there with a deep red paint reminiscent of blood that slowly dripped down. However, that had been supposedly there since this morning. Wondering why Aunt Eva, who had seen it already, would think it odd now. Jessica and I stared at the door.
確かにこんな数字が書かれていた記憶はありません。
Oh, I remember this part.
不気味な魔法文字みたいなのは書かれていたけど数字は書かれていなかった
From what the two of them said, only a magic circle had been here this morning. Okay. A little awkward sentence there. However, right now there were 8 digits newly written in the upper part of the magic circle. So, I'll give you a quick spoiler here, guys. 07151129. So, Bounty's going to tell you what the first 4 numbers mean in a second here. And I'll tell you what the last 4 numbers mean after he tells you. That's a big, big clue about what the hell is going on in this fucking game. Remember, this is the question arcs here, so you're not supposed to make too much sense of this until the answer arcs happen. And that'll be episodes 5 through 9. But, This number right here is a big clue about the shit that's going down. Why is it going down like this, and what the hell is going on with all these episodes that are repetitions of the same fucking scenario with just different tweaks here and there, different culprits and shit like that. So 0715. What would you guys think that is? You know, you're free to guess. Battler's going to tell you in a second what that means, though. Half of it, what it means. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't even want to imagine the thought process of whoever wrote this. It was drawn with what was probably the same paint as the magic circle. But it had clearly been written very recently. The way it had dried and the condition of the color was completely different from the magic circle part. Okay. Perfect.
どうせ魔法的な意味があるんだろうぜ。
Why are numbers magical, right? That doesn't make any sense. The magical circle part I can get as being supposedly magic, but there's a direct reference that these numbers are meaning for some reason. It's not magical part. This is a big clue. So again, Beato is telling the story. Why would you leave these numbers on the door for specifically these 4 people to look at? There's somebody in this group of 4 that's meant to see these numbers, basically. Remember, I already said, if Badler doesn't see it, this shit's not happening, right? So, Badler's piece is there. Badler sees these numbers. So, Beato specifically wanted Badler to see this shit. Why would you think that is?
深く考えたって意味なんかあるわけもないさ。
Jessica intentionally spat those words out in an attempt to wipe out how creepy it was. There's Nanjo bringing out the fucking false theories again. Kinda like throw shit out. Trying to see what sticks to the wall. Nah. I mean, it's not a bad theory though, to be honest. You do like a scientific proof, you do mathematical proof to combat fucking magic. Which makes sense, you want to throw logic in the face of magic. That's what a doctor should be thinking, right? So, I mean, I don't begrudge him with that theory. But again, it's false. It's a false theory. It's not what it means.
あれは四角形の中に埋めた数字の話じゃなかった。これは横一列。
Eva doesn't know what the fuck it means either. Eva's not the one who wrote that. Obviously, she's not the one who killed George, so she wouldn't be the one that wrote that. It would be the Beatrice person. Who's dressing up as Beatrice.
何の意味があるのかさっぱりだな。多分ジェシカちゃんの言うのが正解。私たちが深く考えたところで意味なんか何もないわ。
Even though she said that, she probably suspected that it might actually mean something, using an old receipt or something inside her pockets. Auntie Eva definitely wrote that number down with a short ballpoint pen. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, we don't need to worry about it. Let me just write that shit down for a second, right? Come on, Eva. Because an 8-digit number would probably be a little difficult to memorize, unless it had some kind of pattern. Okay. Yep. Okay, Badler. Badler knows what it means.
何の話?
Yeah, he knows what that means.
いや、偶然だろうけどな。
It's not a coincidence.
俺の誕生日、7月15日なんだ。
It's actually July 15th today, isn't it? What a coincidence, right? Wait, is it? Hold on. Oh, it's July 16th today. Oh shit, okay. Wow, that would have been awesome if it was July 15th today. We are one day off from Badler's birthday, guys. One day off. It's all good though. Would have been fucking cool. But yeah, that's what that means. That's direct reference to Ballard's birthday. These first 4 numbers. Again, ask yourself why Beato would want Ballard to see this. That's kind of a message to him, right? What does his birthday have to do with George and Shannon getting killed in this room, right? Just think about that. And then you would have to think that this is another date, right? So what happened in November 29th, right?
0715が7月15日を示すのかなって思ったら1129もほらその
Exactly what it is.
11月29日って読んだら
Now go ahead and spoil
ちょう
it
ど
right
語呂
now.
がいいかなっ
Exactly what
て
it is.
思ってよ。
Something happened November 29th. Something we're not too privy to right now.
なんでバトラーの誕生日がこんなとこに書いてあるんだよ。
Why would it?
そして11月29日ってなんだよ。
They pretty much tell you what it means, but they don't tell you why it means what it means, right? So there's something that happened 1129 that we don't know about yet.
俺が知りてえぜ。まあ、たまたまの偶然だろうけど。
I'm not gonna go ahead and tell you what happened because to tell you it would be a huge spoiler and we haven't actually got to that point in the storyline yet. They will tell you in the answer arcs, but if I told you what that means, it reveals a lot about the game. And you're not supposed to know what that means yet. So, but you do know that this means his birthday though. And that is another date that something happened on. And it has something to do with Battler, right?
そう考えたら、なんだか不気味になっちまったぜ。11月29日が誰かの誕生日だったりとかするのか？
I wonder.
うちの家族は違うぜ。親父も桐江さんも演者も違う。もちろん、俺のお袋もだ。
心当たりがありませんが、金蔵さんの誕生日でも、源氏さんの誕生日でもないはずだ。
I don't think Nanjo would know what that means, to be honest.
うちの家族も違
Right
う。
there.
ローザやマリアちゃんでもないわ。
Again, this is Battler's here for all of these conversations, so the things people are saying right now is actually happening. This is not a fake fucking scene. This is legit what happened. In this game board at least, right? In this scenario, in this fucking version of the game, in episode 3. This legit happens. Nothing magical about this scene.
うちの家族だって違うぜ。カノン君も違うし、シャノンも違う。私、使用人の人の誕生日にはちゃんとプレゼント渡してるからみんな知ってるけど。
Alright, so we know it's not anybody's birthday that anybody knows about.
11月29日に誕生日の人間なんて知らないぜ。
She started imagining that the 8 digits which we had thought were meaningless were actually 2 dates written together. It started to look that way. Ever its true meaning, maybe something completely different, or they may be no meaning at all. No, it definitely means something. Anyway, since we don't have any real clue, it's probably pointless to stand around there analyzing it. So I'll tell you this one clue and then we'll move on from this point. 1129, it's not somebody's birthday. It's definitely not. It is an important date to the person who's dressing up as Beatrice though. And what happened on that day is the reason why she's doing all these kills. And that's all I can tell you without spoiling it, basically. So, and 0715 is definitely Battler's birthday. So just ask yourself why these 2 dates will be put together here. And that's all I'll say about that. More important was the inside of the parlor. This morning, behind each of the doors with a magic circle drawn on them, there had been the body of a victim. And now that number had been newly added to the door. What new thing had been added inside the parlor? Inside that parlor! When Auntie Eva tried to open it, she felt the resistance of the lock. So this door is locked too, right? It can mean certain things. And I'll go ahead and bring out this theory again. It could mean that the person inside killed themselves, set up their own body, and locked the door before they killed themselves. So if we believe Shannon killed George, remember Shannon was still alive, we were guessing, we were theorizing. And then when George came to check on her body again, to look at her, to do some necrophiliac things, he's a necrophiliac. Shannon killed Georgie, and then maybe she killed herself, but before she killed herself, she locked the door back to make it look like it's a magical kill. Why would she do that? I'm not too sure on that. But that could be a possibility here. Because the door is locked, right? So, if somebody on the, in the 4 that are outside the door, Nanjo, Jessica, Battler, or Ava, if one of them killed George, it would be impossible for them to lock the door behind them. Without a key, right? The key is inside. The key is on the servants. On their bodies. So nobody else has the fucking master key. So, that begs the question how George got back inside that fucking room. Now, you could come outside from the window, I guess. That's how they got in the first place, but, remember the door is locked, though. I mean, I guess that explains why the door is locked. You can go in and out of the window, so it's not really a locked room at that point. Oh, she did have the okay, so Eva had the master key the whole time, so it's not really a locked room at all. Okay, so she could just lock the door behind her. And she killed George. Or you can go in the window if you don't have the master key, so it's not a locked room at all. My bad. Soon as she opened the door, Auntie Eva let out a high-pitched scream and ran inside. That alone was enough to tell us what had happened inside the room. Dr. Nanjo and Battler looked at each other, and Battler shook his head slightly as they entered the parlor. Georgie! Georgie boy!
南條先生早く
Nanjo can't help him now. Judge had fallen alongside Shannon-chan's body. His chest was stained bright red, and from his still open eyes, all my condolences. Okay, this is Ballard talking. All my condolences to Aunt Ava. I couldn't pick up any signs of life. This man is dead. Moving to take his pulse. Dr. Nanjo shook his head, wordlessly reporting George is dead. Brushing him aside, Auntie Eva once again crouched beside George Aniki. She started crying at the top of her lungs. With this, Aniki's death, one thing had become certain: the murders would not be ending at the 8th Twilight. Epitaph is going to be carried out in its complete form, including the 9th Twilight, and none should be left alive. So yeah, he's not one of the Twilight victims, looks like. He was just the guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because he wasn't part of the fucking, wasn't part of the Twilight, epitaphs, apparently. So let's go ahead and check out the character portraits here. We discovered his body now, he's fucking, should be in red now. Corpse discovered in the mansion's parlor. The murder weapon assumed to be a gun or a spear-shaped object. In exchange for a soul, the witch granted an 8-digit number, 07151129. When spoken, a small golden lamp fully opened. Interesting. Very interesting line right there. Okay, so there's that. Then we got his death. Corpse discovered in the Rose Garden Arbor. Cause of death soon to be a strangulation. Blah blah blah. Now for the epitaph, stakes wouldn't even be needed. What a pain. So he just fucking added the stake at the end of his kill. Didn't really need to. This is a clue that it's Eva that does the kill, because Eva's not really worried about the fucking epitaph. But the person who's pretending to be Beatrice goes behind Eva and puts the stake in their leg, because she still wants it to be a magical kill, quote unquote. But Eva's not worried about that. She just wants Kraus dead. So. Same with this person, Natsuhi, corpse discovered in the Rose Garden Arbor, blah blah blah. We got the calf getting gouged with the fucking stake. Why does this epitaph even need to be followed in the first place? A game? Again, that's Eva talking. It's ostensibly Eva Beatrice talking, but it's really Eva who does the actual kill. She's not worried about the fucking epitaph. She just wants these people to die, but the person dressed up as Beatrice wants to pretend that it's all magic, basically, so she's gonna be going back over the kills and putting stakes in their bodies and shit. George doesn't fit that pattern. George was killed outside of the epitaph murders, so she leaves that little number behind as a reason why she kills George. Why did George have to die? This is the reason why. Literally, this is the reason why George had to die. It wasn't because of the epitaph, it's because of this number. So, once you know what that number means, you kind of already have sort of a clue of what that number means. If you've been paying attention, or this is where a lot of people kind of figured out what the hell's going on in this game. When they got this number, Ballard told us that was his birthday. They kind of guesstimated what this number means, and then they realized why Beatrice is doing the shit that she's doing, and why George and Shannon had to die here. So let's go back to Shannon's body. Did she update herself? No, it's the same thing that it said before. It didn't update at all. So again, we're not sure if she's dead or not. Not too sure at all. I think that's it. Oh, we can hold up. Let's see. Can we go to the witch side and see Virgilia being dead? No, she's not dead. Okay, well, as you can see, she's still alive, so she doesn't die, even though she got killed twice. Oh well. You can't kill witches, though. I'm really starting to lose the plot. For some reason, Auntie Eva's half-insane cries and appearance actually made me cool down. Crestfallen and exhausted, I plopped onto the sofa. Plumped my feet on top of the table. Maybe all these murders have paralyzed my heart. Instead of fright, the stronger emotion I'm feeling is one of complete confusion. Dad and Kyrie have died. Starting with the servants, people have been killed off one by one. I mean, Dad and Kyrie died before all the servants, right? And at one hell of a pace, too. I don't know what time the first murder started. I'd say we're probably being killed at the rate of about one person an hour. Okay. That's what Twilight means, right? We believe that the boat will come for us around 9 tomorrow. There's still a full 12 hours until then. Yeah, they're not gonna last that long. How many more sacrifices to the witch would there have been? Would there have to be for us to survive? With the 4 of us, if one goes each hour, we won't last any longer than 4 hours. It's not clear anymore if we'll even last until midnight tonight. Important line, sort of. Yesterday after lunch, we came to this parlor. At about the time that the discussion had turned to the black tea that Auntie Rosa had said she bought, we kids had started talking about going to take a walk. Mia was fooling around. Didn't Shin-chan bring us some cookies? She said that Kumasawa-san had baked them or something. I'd probably have laughed my ass off if there had actually been a cooked mackerel one mixed in with them. That's right, we'll never hear Kumasawa Bachan's mackerel jokes again, will I? Oh yeah, if only I remember stuff about Kumasawa Bachan that wouldn't be fair to everyone else. Why did Dad and Kyrie-san even go outside? It's not like we died from being without food for a day. So why did Gluttony get a hold of them and make them go to get food? We already know why they went outside. They suspected Eva, and they were right in suspecting her. But they kind of lost the gun battle against Eva and Hideyoshi, so they had to die. They rolled the dice, and the dice were against them. I'll bet it was for my fearless dad who started complaining about being hungry. Nah, Kyrie-san, you were supposed to be the brakes for my reckless dad. Pardon me? Ooh. Ooh, wait. Why didn't you stop him? What about your daughter, Angie? She's only 6 years old. You weren't thinking of entrusting her to me, were you? At this point, it's doubtful that even I will be able to leave this island alive. Pardon me. So he's talking about Angie a couple times now, so we'll go ahead and briefly mention her. Angie is the kid. Rudolph's kid with Kyrie. Battler is her half-brother. Bless me again. Yeah. Half-brother, Battler, half-sister, Angie. But they're blood-related, so brother, sister. Angie was sick. Ironic, right? I'm kind of sick. Angie was sick, so she got to not go to Rokenjima. She stayed on the mainland with her mannies and shit. With their grandfather, I guess. On Kyrie's side. She pretty much got abandoned by her entire family in one night when everybody died on October the 5th. Because everybody dies on this island, guys, at the end of the second day. And Angie had to grow up without her family, basically. So, that's Angie's story. And she's only 5 years old at this point. In 1983. So, or I'm sorry, 1986. I'm conflating this story into Higurashi. Higurashi takes place in 1983. This is 1986, or 87, is it? Let's make sure which date it is. 1986, okay. October 5th, 1986. Alright. And it's 5:03, by the way. So yeah, they have quite a ways to go to get to midnight. Battler's saying they won't survive till 9 o'clock, because in 4 hours they should all be dead. He's not wrong. It's the point that it's doubtful that even I will be able to leave this island alive. Oh shit. Oh shit. Some kind of commotion was interrupting my thoughts. Looked up to see what it was and saw Jessica and Auntie Eva had started fighting each other at some point. No, maybe I should say Jessica was grabbing at Aunt Eva. No, she really did kill him. Jessica's 100% right.
ゲストハウスの1階にいたのは誰だよ。エヴァおばさんだ。1階のロビーには父さんと母さんと、そしてエヴァおばさんがいた。生き残ったのは誰だ。エヴァおばさんだけだ。どうして。あんたが犯人だからに決まってるじゃないか。父さんと母さんを殺して外へ運び出して白々しく鍵を閉めて魔女の仕業なんかを装いやがったんだ。
I suspect that it was the Beatrice who did that. who locked the door and tried to make it look like a magical kill. I don't think Eva was even thinking about that shit. But yeah, everything else is right though. That's exactly what happened. So now she's trying to use George as her alibi. Like, why did I kill George too, right? No, she didn't kill George. It was Beatrice.
1階には降りてきてないのよ。じゃあ2階でいなくなったっていうの？ 2階には誰がいたのよ。あなたたちがいたんじゃない。あなたは知ってたんでしょ。ジョージがこっそりゲストハウスを抜け出すのを。それを自分は何も知らないような顔を抜けと。あんたがジョージを止めててくれれば、ジョージは
Well, she doesn't come out and accuse Jessica of killing George, but she does accuse him of letting him step outside the door into the fucking mansion. So, it's kind of interesting. Jessica accuses her of murder, but then she just says, "Oh, well, you should have fucking watched over my son a little bit more." She doesn't really deny the murder accusation, does she? Not at all.
やめなさいというのに、ジェシカさんはずっといとこ部屋にいました。そしてエヴァさんもずっと1階のロビーにいました。
Here's Nanjo over here providing alibis to anybody that needs one. Come on, dude. You're fucking asleep with everybody else drinking the coffee. You don't know the fuck you're talking about.
そして2人とも何も悪くない。
Yeah, somebody's responsible for something here.
ただ家族を失って悲しいだけなんです。犯人なんか誰もいない。どこにもいない。
He's keeping that fucking line of thought about the witch being the culprit alive here. Nando's fucking not to be trusted at all again for the third time here.
ただただ魔女のせいなだけなんです。
Not true. Not true.
だからお二人で憎み合うのはやめなさい。
Witch's fault, is it? I wonder if that's a good way to mediate things for now. Yes, I finally understand the meaning of all the doors and windows having been locked from the inside. When three whole people evaporated from the guest house. This is what they were after. Making us think the culprit was inside and causing this ugly mutual hatred. It had to be the culprit's, the witch's goal. That's a side benefit of it. Like, they really want to have it magically explained. Oh, there's no other way other than magic. Unless you want to, you know, like Jessica's doing, suspect your aunt of doing it. Which, you know, is probably true, right? But in that case, how had the culprit locked it from the outside? Certainly true that the master key had been stolen when Dad's group was attacked. Well, we just saw Eva had a master key, right? The doors and windows to the guest house had been constructed so you couldn't lock them from the outside no matter how hard you tried. So that master key shouldn't mean anything for the guest house locked room. Jessica and Auntie Ava returning their sadness at losing their blood relatives and anger at the person in front of them. Andre was trying to step between them, and I sat haphazardly on the sofa staring up at the ceiling. Rather's checked out, dude. Thinking about things that didn't even matter anymore with a worn-out expression. Yeah, he's checked out, dude. I just couldn't believe that this was the same parlor that had been so warm and pleasant midday yesterday, for just a short time before the typhoon hit. Remember that nice scene on the beach? Oh shit. Ooh. What the fuck just happened? Oh shit. The sudden sound of a gunshot shook me out of my half-asleep trance. Smoke was rising out of the barrel of the gun Auntie Ava held. Jessica was rolling around the floor, covering both her eyes. She got shot in the fucking face, dude. Holy shit. Auntie Ava and Dr. Nanja were looking down at her, shocked. Now would be a good time to do my shock face. I can't do it. I can't do it on command. Don't let me do it. Okay, that's fine.
大丈夫ですか、ジェシカさん。ジェシカさん。
Jessica son. You just got shot the fuck up. Yeah, Jessica talks a big game. The second she starts putting hands on the culprit that she thinks is the culprit, at least, gets her ass shot or killed. This has happened twice in a row now. So she tried to grab somebody with a gun, which is a smart idea, right? This is what happens, Jessica, when you fucking, you don't like surprise somebody. If you're trying to kill Ava, you're trying to take her from surprise, dude. You don't fucking tell her what you're gonna do before you do it, right? You fucking, oh, there you go, I'm surprised now. What happened? What happened? Jessica? Better late than never. Hey, you take somebody's knife, you fucking stick her in her back, and then you say, fuck you bitch, you killed my parents. You don't fucking give her advance warning and shit. She's holding the fucking gun. That's a rookie move, Jessica. Yeah, it's not at this point it's self-defense. You're gonna threaten to kill somebody who has a gun in their hand? Hey, Ava can't be blamed for that shit. This is fucking your fault, baby. Exactly! It's all self-defense. Nanjo saw it. Tyler saw it. Everybody saw it. It's not our fault. Sorry, maybe Ballard didn't see it. I don't know. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Jessica grabbed onto Ava and it turned into a scuffle. Then they had... Oh, sorry. They had then started fighting over the gun onto Ava had been holding. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Some movement or other caused the trigger to be pulled. Yeah, that's Jessica's dumbass fault. You should have gone her from behind. The way she got your parents. I didn't know the details about whether the bullet had grazed her or whether she had been burned by the discharge. Sounds like she was burned by the discharge. Like the fucking, the hot powder got in her eyes or something like that. Whatever the case, Jessica was covering both of her eyes, screaming in pain and rolling around on the floor. Yeah, that's going to leave some marks on her face. It's not going to permanently blind her, hopefully. Hey, at least you're not fucking hyperventilating, right? Gotta think of the good things. Look at the glass half full, right? She's not losing fucking breath over here. Their asthma attack. Nanjo lent Jessica his shoulder, saying that he would tend to her in the servant's room. The servant's room in this mansion apparently had a bed and a first aid kit, and it was able to function as an infirmary. He's still saying this shit. After she just shot your ass. How you doing, baby? I'm struggling, baby. Jessica continued to curse Auntie Ava as her parents' murderer. It seemed that Auntie Ava couldn't conceal her shock at the fact that she had pulled the trigger, even if it had been an accident. It was no accident. Self-defense, baby. I like how she said that. Oh, I didn't kill anybody. But wait a minute. Let's forget about that. Who killed George? Like, didn't she just forget what she was saying? I didn't kill anybody. Oh wait, who killed George? You killed everybody, but you didn't kill George. Georgie! Yeah, she seems really guilty now, man. If you guys didn't think that she was guilty until now, you definitely know she's guilty. Yeah, she's gone. No, I didn't know whether it was because Auntie Ava couldn't stand her mistake, or whether it was because she had lost herself to anger at the person that killed her only son. Whether it was both of those all mixed together. In any case, she ran out of the corridor, yelling, fearful, and shouting. I was also worried about Jessica's condition, but anyway, right then, I couldn't leave Auntie Ava alone. Why would she go off on her own in the mansion, of all places? Is she suicidal? So they're still in the main mansion here, guys. With the fucking smell of death all around him. Nanjo took Jessica towards the servant's room. I chased after Auntie Eva, dashing into the depths of the mansion. They split up again. I'm gonna guesstimate that one of these two groups are both gonna die. Both people are gonna die. I wonder which group it is, right? Just setting Jessica on the 7th bedroom. On the 7th room bed, sorry. Nanjo told her several times not to rub her eyes and examine the affected area. The barrel had probably been near her eyes. There was a possibility that the flames from the discharge had damaged her corneas. There was no threat to her life, but it would probably be necessary to have a suitable doctor look at her as soon as humanly possible. I'm not a real doctor, so it can't be me. Nanjo applied emergency first aid, covering the affected area with gauze and wrapping it with a bandage. As a result, Jessica completely lost her field of vision. So she's blinded, basically. Yeah, don't fucking scratch the fucking gunshot wound. Don't do that. Worst thing you can do. Yeah, let's find an ophthalmologist on the landlocked fucking island. Let's do that tomorrow. Good job. That fucking bitch. How about you not fucking call her a bitch when she has a gun? Yeah, let's not do that. You sure would've. You see what happens when you fucking start accusing people who have guns in their hands? Like, you don't want to keep doing that. That's the second mistake you want to do. You don't want to do that shit. If you're still alive, maybe. Yep. Yep. That part's not true. Not that part either. We know that's not true. She snuck out to find the room of gold. Her and Rosa did, so she's a little flawed in this theory, but for the most part, she's right. Like, Eva does kill a lot of people in this game. In this playthrough, at least. And fuck the police. What are you talking about? I mean, well, we'll get to that later. There's no way that the police are going to find any evidence on this island. And we'll get to why later. I think you're going to, I believe, episode 3. If not episode 3, episode 4, the ending explains why there's not going to be any evidence. And it's, you know, if you've ever played Higurashi, it's kind of the same deal. That's why there would be no evidence found. If you know what happens in Higurashi at the end of every playthrough, end of every episode, same thing kind of happens here. So a little mini spoiler for you guys, if you know what that means. Ain't gonna be no fucking forensic evidence left over after October the 6th. For some reason or another. Rest your body, girl. Rest that body. Rest your eyes. Okay, Nanjo. Indeed, when Jessica had grown agitated, her verbal abuse of Eva, she had naturally started glaring, and the pressure of her eyes hurt her. Jessica herself soon realized that the more she talked, the more the wound would hurt. Regardless of whether she had overcome her suspicions of Eva, she regained her composure for the time being. Calm down, baby. Nah, she didn't touch Shannon and Cannon. I'll tell you that right now. She had nothing to do with Shannon and Cannon and Chun's death. Yeah, they're more worried about Cannon and Shannon, George and Jessica. They don't care about their parents at all, right? It's all about Cannon and Shannon. She had heard that Cannon had been killed in the chapel when he was proposing marriage to Jessica, of course. Jessica still hadn't seen his face after he had died. So we don't really buy that fucking death. Because that's Nanjo saying that, right? You can't trust Nanjo. Far you can throw his fat ass, right? He's lying bastard. So I'm gonna guess Cannon is not dead either. Cannon is not dead. Shannon definitely wasn't dead. How did Shannon wake up again, right? Because she was never dead. So let's keep that in mind. Cannon wasn't dead either. And Nanjo is the one that pronounced them both dead in the original first Twilight. But they're not dead. Jessica was now less fearful about the fact that she might go blind, and more frightened that the police would carry Cannon's corpse away while she still couldn't see, and that she would have to say her final farewell without being able to see his face. Aw. Her anger at the culprit and her sadness at the death of the person she had liked. Those mixed emotions provoked her tear ducts. Oh, that's not good. Right now, tears were actually painful for her, yeah. Crying is like the worst you can do. You know, she wasn't even permitted to leisurely remember the late Cannon's face. Jessica could do nothing but sit on the bed and let her head droop, withstanding the pain. So what happens when you try to fight somebody with a gun? come to a gun party with their fucking fists. It ain't gonna work.
さて、今度はエヴァさんのことを知りたいです。
Yeah, fuck Eva.
気に病まれていなければ
She's over here
いい
killing
のです
people,
が。
right? Letting out a small sigh of relief that Jessica had calmed down for the time being. He stuck his head out into the hallway to look for any sign of the others coming back. I wouldn't do that, sir. You don't want to leave yourself alone here. Oops, see? Yeah, that was a bad move, Doctor. They met eyes. Nanjo, unable to understand who this person was bewildered for an instant.
視力を失った人間って反魔法力も対魔法抵抗力もゼロになるんですって。
That's an interesting line here. So you can't see what the hell's going on. You lose all magical resistance. So apparently Jessica's fucking wide open as a fucking unarmored fucking babe about any magical fucking shenanigans going on. And Nanjo's the one who fucking said the witch is the one who's doing it, so of course he's gonna be susceptible too. He's already let the witch in, right? So witch is gonna be fucking him up real quick. And then that leaves Jessica fucking 100% unarmored, ready to get fucking blasted by magic here. So they're not looking too good here.
つまり今のあんたはアイソレーテッドポーン。
Isolated upon
意味がわかるかしら。
There was no possible way that Nanjo could have understood what the person in front of him was. And there was certainly no possible way he could ever have understood what she had just said. See, Nanjo was around when Eva was a kid. He should recognize who this is, right? I think.
Nanjo sensei, どうしたんです?
Able to see, Jessica couldn't tell what was going on except by whatever voice she heard. But since she had heard Nanjo say something with an uneasy tone, she tightened up, thinking that something bad had happened. Again, Battler's not in this scene, right? So we don't really believe anything that's going on in this scene at this point. Anything that's happening here could be 100%, and probably is 100% made up by Beato as something completely false that's going on. And your first clue is that there's a magical witch outside of Nanjo and Jessica's room. So Battler's not seen any of this shit, right? Ask yourself why she only appears when Battler's not there to see it. Because it's not fucking real, right? It's just 100% farce. Some way, somehow, Nanjo is going to get killed here, but it's not because of the witch. But we're not allowed to see that because Battler's not in the scene, so. Oops. Well, that's definitely a death flag.
Nanjo sensei! Nanjo sensei!
Jessica didn't do anything except call out from the bed. Judging by the tone of his voice, Nanjo was in the corridor being confronted by someone, and he was scared. There was no doubt that at this very moment his life was being threatened.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。
The witch pointed at the end of her gold staff at Nanjo. Even though he didn't know what she was planning to do, Nanjo imagined that she must be trying to take his life.
Nanjo sensei! Nanjo sensei!
This is kind of brutal for Jessica to sit and listen to. She can't see shit. She's letting her imagination run wild, basically. Who the fuck is that? Like, oh shit. And Nando was the chillest motherfucker in this entire playthrough. Now he's like yelling like a fucking pig with his head cut off. Oops. Bang. A sharp sound echoed. And tapered to a point just as sharp, the elongated tip of the golden staff was stuck straight into Nanjo's forehead. Jessica, who only had her ears to help her try to grasp what was happening, had no clue what was going on. But even so, she was able to realize that with that sound, Nanjo had died. And the person who had killed him was now in the corner, right in front of the servant room. Furthermore, since she couldn't see, she wasn't even able to run away, much less resist. Upon discovering that she was in a life-or-death situation, caught like a rat in a trap, Jessica felt her blood run cold.
ですか。かわいそうにね。目を 怪我しちゃったのね。
Kind of fucked up that it's Eva talking to her, and Jessica's always suspected Eva as the culprit. Now she's kind of confirmed that it is Eva. You know it's Eva
あなたは
Beatrice,
逃
right?
げることもできないわね。今から南條の死体でたっぷり遊ぶわ。
Yeah, that's fucked up.
それに飽きたら次はあなたを殺してたっ
I
ぷ
say
り
die
遊ん
him.
であげる。いいえ、せっかく目が見えないんだもの。殺してからだけじゃない、殺す前にもたっぷり遊んであげるわね。
What? Oh, this is fucked up.
そこでしばらく震えながら待ってなさいね。南條の死体で私がどんな風に遊ぶのかをたっぷり想像しながら。
Shock could fear Jessica let out a frail scream. She really wanted to scream in a much louder voice, trying to get someone to help her, but she couldn't. And a person is faced with true fear clogs up their throat. Right now, Jessica can barely even breathe.
助けて、助けて。
She's going through it right now, man. She starts around with her hands trying to find some way to escape. And even though she knew this room well, just being unable to see made it look like a locked room of darkness. Oh shit. She's over here bumping into shit. She bumped into some shelves or something, and some tins of sweets and bottles and things fell down from them, hitting her on the head. Thanks, Nanjo, for blinding me, right? That was smart. Now she was now even protecting her head to block them wasn't working out. She was becoming painfully aware of how very powerless humans become just by losing their sense of sight. Yep. Of course, she had no time to appreciate that. She crawled around as best as she could, trying to escape that place. But she kept bumping into things that she didn't understand, getting hit by various falling objects. And it felt to her like the entire room was alive, holding her and refusing to let her escape. Where the fuck is she gonna go, right? Out the window? Ain't gonna work. Good luck not breaking your fucking neck going out the window, right? You're trapped, baby. And then she heard footsteps in the presence in the hallway. And then a voice. A person that probably appeared into the room since Jessica was making so much noise.
賑やかね。レディーならおとなしくベッドに座って待っていなさい。令状にふさわしい素敵な真っ赤な死に装束を与えてやるんだから。あなたを見つけた人が失神してしまいそうになるくらいのね。
Damn. Shouldn't play with her food, evil Beatrice. Wow. This is what you get, Jessica. Try to go after somebody with a gun. It ain't gonna work ever. All because of that. Just a short while ago, she had sworn that she would kill the culprit if she found them. Yeah, there's the culprit right there. Would you do something, baby? Do something. However, she was now all too powerless. Yep. This is a recurring theme with Jessica. She like talks a big game. Then when she's presented with the fucking culprit right in front of her, she can't do shit. Just sit there and fucking take it. She couldn't do anything except let out a feeble scream and crawl around on the floor, bumping her head into the bed and legs and desks. Kinda sucks for her. Oh, they're dead, right? Unfortunately, Batter's not here. Hey, he's not dead, right? Maybe he'll come. In the corridor, as the witch thought of how to toy with Nanjo's life, a single gold butterfly secretly watched that scene from the corner of the hallway. Oh. What's going on here? It's Beato, who had barely escaped with her life once before. Okay. Oh yeah, she got. Yeah, that's right. She was targeted by the Chester sisters, and Virgilia like took the bullet for her basically. So now she's been hiding as a butterfly. It looks like. The gold butterfly softly returned to human form. Its form was faint and transparent like a lace curtain. So she's now in like transparent version Beatrice, right? Less power than before. Even just the power to hold a human form had become scarce for her. Right next to her, Lil Novi also appeared. Really? He's on the team again?
ジェシカも生き残れはしないでしょう。もとより誰も生き残れはしませんが。
あやつカノンに恋心を寄せておった。わらわはそれをもてあそんだこともある。しかしそれは魔女として恥ずべきことであった。
愛とは一なる元素。
Single element, guys.
恋心はそれ以上に純粋で尊いものでございます。なぜかお嬢様はとてもそれを嫌われますが。
For some reason, right?
お師匠様は言った。魔法とは人を幸せにするためにあると。わらわもかつてはそれを知っていたはずだった。そしてそれを忘れた時からだからわらわはバトラの対戦相手の資格を失っていたのだ。
まさかお嬢様ジェシカを助けるおつもりですか。危険です。
I mean, she already tried this before with George and Shannon. So now she's going to try to save Jessica's life when she's in a sure death situation here, right? Which all but tells her, "Oh, you're dead next. I gotta play with this dude's corpse first, and then I'm gonna go get your ass, play around with your dead body." So there's no way she can be saved at this point. The only thing you can do is prolong her death, probably. But I guess she's gonna try, right?
分かってる。
Yeah, alright.
どうせ助けても黄金鏡の扉が開けば魔女の宴の慰めも。
So what the fuck's the point?
しかしそれでもあやつの殺し方に比べれば数段慈悲深い。
Okay.
魔女の宴は恐るべき方法にて命を奪う生死をもてあそばる。しかしあやつは違う。何度でも殺す。面白半分で殺す。そこにはわずかほどの慈悲もある。
Okay. Fair.
確かにそれを行うことは良き魔女として称えられることでしょう。しかし新しきベアトリーチェ様はすでにお嬢様のことを敵視なされています。もう一度姿を見られることがあったなら今度は逃れる術はありませんよ。
ジョージをシャノンに合わせた時わらわはようやくそして魔法とはどういうものなのか。わらわは魔女であらねばならぬ。そしてバトラの対戦相手だと認める。今度こそしかし今ここでその一歩を踏み出さねばわらわは魔女を名乗れぬのだ。
お気持ちはわかりますがどうやってお救いになるつもりです。今のお嬢様の身に使える魔法は多くありません。シャノンを蘇らせる時ですらジョージの力を借りたではありませんか。
だからこそジェシカだけは救えるかもしれぬのだ。
It's gonna use either Jessica or Cannon's love, or both
今あ
maybe.
やつはカノンに助けを求めている。その思いの力を借りればわらわの魔力にてもう一度冥府の扉を叩けるかもしれない。
叩けはするでしょう。しかし魔力を使い切ります。新しきベアトリーチェ様にもし見つかったら本当に逃れる術はありません。私はすでにお嬢様の執事ではありません。
He's no longer a brother, but he's given her good advice.
いざという時お助けすることはできませんので。
承知しておるわ。わらわはこれまで数えることもできぬほどの命をもてあそびならば同じ数だけの命を救うことでしか。
Not too bad.
ものよりわらわに失うものなどないわ。名も魔力を引き継ぎ今や魔女とも認められぬただの黄金の蝶よ。
バトラ様は どうなさるのですか？ゲームの途中です。彼はお嬢様がお戻りになるまで待つとおっしゃいました。ここで果てるようなことがあっても良いのですか？お嬢様にはマトラ様の向かいの席に戻る義務があるのですよ。
This is kind of a unique situation. They're playing a meta game outside this game piece land. The chessboard is this actual like scenario, episode 3 scenario. But the chess piece Beatrice, she put herself into the game basically. The one that's playing the chess game with Battler. She's using her real witch powers for this game. And then she gave her witch powers to Eva Beatrice. So it's kind of up in the air if she's actually in danger now. Or if it's just like part of the game, part of the fucking episode. Well, Ronove's saying she's actually in danger of dying now. So I don't know if that's true or not. It might be true, it might not be. Maybe the rules are different for Eva and Eva Beatrice and Beatrice's predecessor, where they all share their magical powers, even in the game, outside the meta world. I'm not sure, but from what he's saying, yes, that is the case.
だからこそわらわにしか救えぬ命があるならば、わらわはそれを救う。そして魔女と認められるぞ。わらわは魔女にならねばならぬのだ。これが試練であるならば、これまでの悪行に見合わぬ幼稚なものよ。さあ、姿を消せ。かつて黄金の魔女と呼ばれた一匹の蝶の最後となるかもしれぬ魔法を見るがいい。
かしこまりました。黄金の魔女の名に恥じぬ体験させてもらいます。願わくばそれが最後の魔法とならぬこと。
行け、我が友よ。もしインクが借りるなら、我が愚かなる生涯を記してさらばだ、ロノ。
We went back to the chapel where Kanon's body supposedly resided. If you believe he was dead. I don't.
Kanok, お嬢様、僕はいつだってお嬢様のすぐそばに控えております。
Jessica thought that she had just heard Kanon's voice. She looked around with unseeing eyes, but of course there was no way for her to see anything. On the contrary, that action caused her head to hit the desk again. Ouch. So she can't see what the hell's going on here. Again, Balor's not here, so we don't know if this shit is taking place or not. Probably it's not. But even if it was, she couldn't 100% confirm that Kanon is now talking to her. It could be somebody pretending to be him, somebody using his voice somehow, maybe. Maybe they're a ventriloquist or whatever. But it could be a number of ways you can pretend to be Kanon here. And, you know, fool Jessica into thinking that he's returned from the dead or something. I doubt it went this far. This is probably just 100% not true. None of this shit's happening. Jessica died some other way. But this is pretty much going to explain how Jessica dies. Spoiler alert. We're saying that Kanon comes back to life in spirit form and kind of helps him out against this fucking evil Beatrice witch. Via Beatrice's powers. Beatrice's powers.
生きてたの。
This time she thought that she'd heard his voice clearly. Jessica jumped up in surprise, banging her head against the desk once again.
お嬢様、どうか心を落ち着けてお聞きください。残念ながら僕は生きてはいません。僕はすでに死んでしまっています。
Again, if he was still alive and he said that, she would have no idea of knowing whether that's fake or not. Then you might be just pretending to be dead, and then I came back, and I'm actually dead. That's something that somebody who's pretending to be dead would say, right? Pretty much.
ですが、あの魔女が、そしてわずかの間だけお嬢様に手助けできる時間をくれました。どうか心をもっと落ち着けて、そうすればお嬢様にも僕の姿が見えるようになります。
Jessica obeyed those words. She chased all idle thoughts from her head and relaxed her breathing. Her heart actually felt like it was going to explode after hearing the voice of the loved one she thought was dead. She resisted that with all of her strength. And she did, she could feel that Kennen-kun was really right in front of her. Even though she was unable to see how, somehow, she was still able to sense him clearly. I believe that.
僕が
It's not fake.
見えますか、お嬢様。
見えるぜ。確かにカノン君が見えるよ。
Yeah, this is Jessica almost about to die. We can make up whatever we want before she dies. And nobody's there to confirm or deny what the hell is happening here. So it's whatever the witch tells you is true. It's up to you to believe it or not. Probably not, right? Probably not.
僕は魂だけの存在です。だからお嬢様に触れることは
This
できま
entire
せ
state's
ん。
little hard to swallow.
こうして言葉をかけることしかできない。それだけしかできないか弱い存在ですが、それ
言葉だけなの。カノン君に触ることは。
僕は今ろうそくの煙よりも儚い存在です。聖者であるお嬢様に触れられればたちまち書き消えてしまうほどに。だからどうか触れようとしないでく
She's
だ
supposed
さ
to
い。
touch me, girl.
僕もお嬢様に触れたい気持ちを抑えているのですから。それよりお嬢様、よく聞いてください。新しい黄金の魔女は残酷な心の持ち主です。必ずやお嬢様をひどい目に遭わせようとするでしょう。この部屋から逃げ出し隠れなければなりません。
どうやって私は目が見えない。
静かに僕がお嬢様の目になります。僕がかける言葉に従って動いてください。まずそのまま3歩履いてて、それから立ち上がっ
Crawl
てくだ
3 steps.
さい。
I don't
今
know how
お嬢様
much
が
of
い
a
るの
crawl
は
is a
机
step.
の下です。そのまま立てば頭をぶつけます。
机の下だったのか。わかったよ。1、2、3、立つぜ。
お上手です。次は時計で言う9時の方向を向いてください。
なんだか恥ずかしいぜ。
大丈夫ですか？傷が痛みますか？
いや、平気だぜ。次は。
Jessica thought that if this was a dream, she didn't want to wake up. And if she were allowed to, she would have wanted to take off the bandage covering her eyes and see him. However, if she did that, surely Kenny would vanish like a frail candle smoke, just like he himself had said. She was afraid of that. So she satisfied herself with just being able to hear his words once more, repressing her desire to see him, to hold him. So what hurt her eyes now were tears of gratitude. Tears of gratitude for the god or else witch who had given her this miraculous moment.
大丈夫なの？こんなに喋って、あいつに気づかれない。声を聞かれない。
隠密の結界を張っています。
Nice.
大きな音や声を
He does have some powers, right? I thought he was so weak he couldn't even fucking be touched. But, oh, he has powers to fucking put a barrier up though. Yeah.
だから誰も
Okay.
僕の気
I
配
can
に
get
気
it.
づけない。
I can get it.
なんだか
But she doesn't
わ
get
から
it.
な
I
いけ
get
ど
it.、 It's all fake.
とにか
That's
く
what I
静かにしてれば
That's what
大
it
丈夫っ
means.
てことなんだな。
You're just making up shit as you go along.
次
Right?
はどうするんだ？
Mm-hmm.
そのままゆっくり10歩ほどを歩いてください。ソファーに触ります。それに沿って進んでください。ゆっくりと落ち着いて僕の言葉を信じて。
不思議だぜ。目が見えないってのは。
そう。それがソファーで
Hey,
す。
whoa. Went too fast there. What did she say? There's a table just to the left, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's not scary at all. Okay.
左になぞりながらゆっくり進んで。すぐ左にテーブルがあります。すねをぶつけないように気をつけて。
Watch out for them delicious looking shins, baby. It's a very, very peculiar and magical team effort. Even though she would be killed in an instant if she was noticed by the terrible witch, there was no fear in Jessica's heart right then. So now she thinks it's a witch. I think she thought it was Eva before, right? Now it's a witch. That tells you right there this is a fake scene. She's thinking it's Eva, not a witch. She already accused Eva of it. But oh well. She was being protected and guided by Canon, who she had thought she would never be able to see and meet again with. It was probably only a momentary miracle. Even so, Jessica was deeply grateful for it. If she hoped for too much, she was sure that he would disappear. So in order to not break this transient miracle, and in order to engrave this moment into her heart for all eternity, she slowly continued to walk, obeying Canon's voice. Obey him!
さらに10歩歩けば、そしたら9時の方向を向いて、ゆっくりとずっと右の壁に手を置き、それに沿って僕が安全な部屋までお連れします。
そこに行ったらカノン君は帰っちゃうの？
Yep. Canon didn't answer, but even his lack of an answer was enough to let her know that that was the truth. The truth.
行きたくないよ。
ここにいれば魔女に殺されます。
If you yell, you're gonna be killed too.
いいよ。
Probably.
殺されればカノン君のいる世界へ行けるもん。
お嬢様、どうか聞き分けてください。死者である僕には。
Yo, suicide's a sin, so you're probably not gonna be going the same place he's going. At that point.
だから長くはとどまれません。だからお嬢様、僕に許された時間で、そしたら時間が尽きるまで。
それがカノン君にできる。
はい、その代わり1秒でも長くお嬢様のそばずっとお嬢様といてお話をします。どんなお話がいいですか？
カノン君が聞かせてくれる。
では
Like that answer. You don't tell me anything. Okay.
勇気のない臆病な使用人の少年の話を太陽のように眩しいお嬢様に恋心を抱き、同じ気持ちを打ち明けられながらも臆病さに負け、ついに生あるうちに自分に素直になれなかった。
なら私もしたいよ。大好きな男の子にね。もっともっと大好きだよって勇気を振り絞れなかった臆病な女の子の話を。そしてその男の子に再会できる奇跡を神様がくださって、その勇気を振り絞る機会をもう一度与えてもらった女の子が。
僕もその話を聞きたいです。だからそのためにも行きましょう。安全な場所まで。
カノン君と一緒ならいつまでだってどこまでだって歩くよ。
And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 miles.
カノン君が踏み出せと言うなら崖の先へだって一歩を踏み出すよ。
Is it 5,000 miles? I think it's 5,000, right? Oops.
ありがとう。
It might be 100 now.
さあ、お嬢様。
That's gonna bug me. I wonder which one it is now.
参ります
I
よ。
think it's 100 actually. 500 miles.
最初の
Who
10
knows?
歩。
First 10 step.
ジェシカって
呼んでくれ
Oh
な
my
きゃ。
god, dude. Come on. Let's call her Jessie.
わかりました。では、ジェシカ。
I like how he does it like it's a command by a servant. Wakarimashita. Jessica Ojo-sama. Come on, dude.
最初の10歩。
カノン君。
Is this the right time to be flirting with each other? I mean, come on, dude. Let's go ahead and get her to safety first, and you can flirt all you want for the next, 5 minutes before you die. Because you're not gonna survive this one, I don't think. Riley. Jessica and Cannon snuck slowly out of the servant room. Directly around the corner, the witch can be seen cruelly looking down upon Nanjo's corpse, but the witch did not even notice their presence. They're walking right in front of this witch, apparently, but she can't see it. However, Ronade, who was waiting at her side, met Cannon's eyes. Cannon thought, oh no, grimacing and blocking Jessica with his back. However, Rona faced a G, and he did not inform his master. As though it had been his imagination that he'd ever spotted him in the first place, he pretended not to know nothing. And, no, maybe he did appear to chuckle. He's like, tee-hee-hee, hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Put a finger on one of Runabe's hands, which were joined behind his back. A single small gold butterfly appeared, right in front of Cannon as though guiding him. It was undetectable by the master he served. Cannon was surprised at the magic that the butterfly held, because it was far more powerful than the sheath barrier Cannon had. He may not have known, but that power had originally been Runabe's. An imitation of that had been given to Cannon by Kinzo, and that was what Cannon was using now. How convenient, right? Runabe's powers was Cannon's powers. Originally. Alright. As that butterfly of stealth magic scattered gold scales, it grew smaller bit by bit. Probably wouldn't last long. But without a doubt, even that would buy them enough time to get far away from the cruel witch.
さあ、お嬢様。
Oh, I thought it was Jessica. What the hell happened?
その壁に沿い、ずっと歩いていき
He
ましょう。
slipped back into Ojo-sama.
ずっと。
カノン君と一緒ならどこまでもずっと
Let me just point out this real quick, and we'll take another quick break here. So this is similar to what happened with George and Shannon. George and Shannon, quote unquote, reunited after their death, after one of their deaths, Shannon's death, I guess. If you believe she died. And now Cannon, who supposedly was dead too, he's reunited with Jessica after he died. And specifically, Beato is the person responsible for bringing them back together for being a champion of love all of a sudden, right? And for kind of like christening them again. Their relationship was they're shattered when they died, but now it's all good, right? They get to like kiss and make up, and even if they die, if one of them dies, the other one's cool with it because they're like they got the second chance to see them again. So now George is like happy in death. After he got to see Shannon again, he saw the ring on her finger. He's like, oh, okay, I could die now. I could die happy, man. So it was a nicer death than what he had experienced in episodes 1 and 2, right? And now we got the same thing happening with Jessica. So she's probably dead, right? You guys can all see that. Cannon apparently is already dead. Probably not, but apparently he's already dead. And Jessica's okay with dying now because she got to confirm the feelings of Cannon and confirm her own feelings and kind of got to like be all lovey-dovey with him at the last minute of her life. So it's a much nicer death this way, right? It's a much easier to swallow death. So just ask yourself, why would Beato be specifically showing Battler this when Battler just fucking reamed her out for the past couple episodes of my read-along for being such a cruel witch who shatters love, right? Now, why is Beato all of a sudden a champion of love? Well, just ask yourself why she would be doing that. Is it for I don't know, Battler's sake, right? Is it, I don't know, to kind of like swindle Battler into like getting her on his good side again? Beats the heck out of me, right? It's so blatant, right? What she's doing here. So I mean, again, you can't trust a word Beato says Especially when Battler's not in this fucking room, on the chessboard, watching all this shit go down. So none of this shit's probably going to be real. But it is exactly what Battler wants to hear. Too bad he's not there to actually hear it firsthand, right? So, anyway, keep that in mind. We're going to take a quick break here, guys. I shall BRB. This is some Tekken goodness here while we BRB. I can't. Hold on. I could have swore you can mute the music here. I guess there's a different button for that. I'm gonna have to go into the menu and mute it. Alright, so let me save it. Because I'll have to like reload once I mute this shit. Save. That'll work. Alright, so config. Can't see my mouse for some reason, that's fine. What the hell? What is going on? Yeah, I can't see my mouse. Alright, that's great. Little glitch on the Umineko project here. If I can see where the hell my mouse is. That's great. I can see the highlight part, right? That's weird. Well, that's not helping at all. There you go. There we go. Alright, so I can't tell where the fuck my mouse is going. Fortunately. Oh, I saw it. Why does the mouse disappear? What the fuck is going on here? There you go. Figured it out. Hey. Okay, I turned off the fucking sound effects. I thought I could still hear the rain. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's why. I can't fucking see the mouse. Dude. That's fucking annoying. We figured out a glitch in this version here, guys. All right. Or Tekken soundtrack here. BRB.